Think of the highest quality you can imagine. Now, think higher.
Outdoor living in the Coachella Valley is spectacular, and Tessera is the premier builder of outdoor living spaces in the desert. Nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta. For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
The day everyone's been waiting for, Tuesday, July 9th, the day of the PSCL Championship. 10 teams coming together here in Palm Springs for a month to try to capture the PSCL 2024 title. Welcome into the PSCL Championship broadcast between the Blue Sox and the Rush. Adam Oppenheim alongside EJ Sanchez. EJ, a lot of energy in the stadium today. What are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm just looking forward to seeing really two of the top three teams all season long, giving us the show that really we've been asking for. We knew there would be some sort of combination of these teams, maybe the Lumberjacks, and we finally made it here. You said it. The energy is different around the building. These guys, regardless, I don't want to hear anything about summer ball this, summer ball that. Once the word championship gets thrown into the equation, everything becomes a million times different. You see guys maybe a little more serious. You see other guys having just a little bit more fun, enjoying what we have going on here today. And, you know, it gives you goosebumps up here. You feel like you need to go get your ankles taped and go out there and play. But both of these teams have earned it. We're looking forward to a great game. We have a great pregame show lined up for everybody listening at home, and we just couldn't be more excited to bring it to everyone.
Absolutely. I'll ask you one more question before we get to the interviews that we had with each coach. I'll ask you, EJ, as a former collegiate player, how are you feeling before this championship game? What's going through your mind?
Well, like I said, there is a slight difference when you're talking about the regular seasons of maybe your collegiate league and a summer league. Once you start seeing something at stake, you start to refine in on what makes you good. So for some guys, that is having a little extra fun and making sure guys are staying loose. If you're a serious type of player, that just means that you're probably not going to want to talk to as many people today. You're going to turn up the volume in your headphones a little higher. You know, this is where your senses start to get heightened a lot more. And that's what you're starting to see from a lot of these players. These guys have been grinding it out on a true minor league baseball schedule really over the last month. And I'm just really excited to see how each guy deals with it. We have all-stars all over the field. We have Division I guys left and right. This is where these guys want it to be, and they have earned their way here. So there's only good things that you can expect from that.
Each of these teams has played 20 games. The Blue Sox 16-3-1 on top of the Northern Division. The Rush 12-7-1. Let's talk to Rush head coach Zach Novus, who I talked to yesterday. Here with head coach of the Rush, Zach Novus. Zach, huge semifinal win today. How does it feel going back to the championship, your first time since 2021, which you won the PSCL championship?
Yeah, thanks. Really excited for the kids. They're fired up. They're excited to get out there tomorrow and finish this thing. But they came together really quick as a group, and they're really fired up for tomorrow.
A lot of times the playoffs are being hot at the right time. You guys struggled against trying to start. You came back and won. How confident are you in your team after, dominating the A's tonight?
Yeah, really confident. Just like you said, we're kind of getting hot at the right time, kind of hitting our stride, putting the good at-bats together. And they're really just coming together just right at the right time, like you said. They're gelling. They're having fun, and they're playing for each other.
Now, Anthony Sanchez for you guys went the entire way. How key was it to keep your bullpen fresh for a championship game, which is 9 innings?
Oh my God, he was unbelievable today. That was one of the best pitching performances I've really ever seen in the dugout. He was just straight dominant today. 13 strikeouts, 2 hits, 1 walk. I mean, it was a easy day for our defense, but no, he was on today. He had everything working.
You guys are facing the Blue Sox in the championship. Manager Reed Santos with the Blue Sox. They've been the best team in the regular season all year long, but this is just one game. How confident are you in your team?
Oh, really confident. Our boys are ready to go. They want to face the best team. They're excited. I mean, this is a really tough lineup we're gonna have to navigate tomorrow. Really a lot of good hitters. A lot of guys can do damage. So we're ready for the challenge. We're excited, and we wouldn't want it any other way.
Now, going back to today's game against the A's, you guys have had a lot of production at the top of your lineup the entire year, but the bottom of the lineup has come through as of late. How key is it just getting production 1 through 9 or 10?
Oh, so key. It just takes pressure off everybody, you know. That one guy doesn't feel like it's all on him. Danny Quadras today with a huge 2 RBI base knock late there to extend it for us was huge. Santi Duarte still swinging it. Top of our order still doing their thing, but like you said, bottom of the order really chipping in and just like helping it make it a little easier on us for us today and just down the stretch.
Now, your dugout was very loud today after you guys took the lead late in that ball game. How are you expecting the atmosphere in your dugout to be throughout that entire game? Oh,
the dugout was great today. We're expecting more of the same tomorrow. We were fired up just behind Sanchez all day and the defense. I mean, it was just a fun performance to watch. It was just a fun game. So, I mean, we were in it the whole time, and they just had a good day at the ballpark today. We were having fun.
Last question, Zach. What's the message to your team before the championship game?
Just why not, man? Why not? We made it. We made it this far. We're still in uniform. Let's just go out there and win it and play one more time and keep having fun playing baseball together. Like I said, this group came together really quick. They've got great chemistry. It's one of the funnest groups I've been around as a coach or a player. So we're just going full send tomorrow, and we're just going to go have fun, play some baseball.
Once again, Manager Zach Novus. Thanks, Zach.
Thanks, Adam.
Welcome back into Palm Springs Stadium. Once again, thank you, Zach Novus, Rush Manager, for taking the time.
Yeah, I was also able to sit down, Adam, with Reed Santos on a call yesterday, really to describe not only their win yesterday against the Colonials to advance to this point, but also really a lot of big picture things. We talk about the team and how they have come together. We talk about the pitching staff. And by the end, I was able to ask Reed really what he wants these kids to get out of just even playing for him for a few weeks. So here's our interview and my sit down that I had to have with head coach of the Blue Sox, Reed Santos. Hey, Reed, so first of all, again, we appreciate you joining us here pregame. Just talk about real quickly the semifinal game for you guys. This is the win to get into the championship. Give me your first impressions.
Well, first you gotta start with pitching and what Leo did today. I think he's done an incredible job. I think all summer for us, and really kind of settled into his own. And midway through the season, and you can just see the confidence increase after every outing. And it's funny because we had a conversation at the beginning of the summer where he told me he didn't want to start at all, and he just wanted to think about coming out of the pen. And after a couple of outings and whatnot, I thought I'd give him a shot, and here we are. Two back-to-back complete games for him. So like I said, it was a great way for him to end the summer, and like I said, he pitched a hell of a game today for us. Let our defense work, and we were able to score some early runs for him.
It seems like every single time you guys run out there, you're running out a pitcher that's going to give you, at the very least, a quality start. Your background is in pitching. Is this something that you have instilled in your guys? Because your guys have a mindset really unlike any staff that we've seen in the PSCL this summer.
Well, I'd like to think that, like I said, our conversations we have during practices and after every outing and whatnot, seems to kind of give them that confidence. That's what I want. You want confidence in your guys. And like I said, I let them kind of do their thing and kind of touch up on some things that possibly, we could work on for previous outings. But like I said, it's funny because we get talked a lot about our offense, this whole summer, and we score tons of runs. And, definitely we do that. We're, a great hitting team, but, I think our pitching gets kind of swept under the rug a little bit and not talked about. And like I said, like you were saying, EJ, they've just been great for us all season, and just being able to throw strikes and let our defense do its thing.
So this will be the only personal question I really give you. I know we want to focus on the guys. We want to focus on, the game that's about to go in a few minutes here. But getting the win yesterday against the Coyotes, around the building, obviously everybody happy for you. Just take us through maybe just your mindset and the emotions running through that so that you can relax and just allow your guys to play the rest of this tournament out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like I said, against the Coyotes, like I said, it was a hard-fought battle, a great game, between two great pitchers. And we knew coming in, like I said, we weren't taking anybody for granted, regardless of seeding or records or anything like that. Come playoff time, it's a whole new ball game. So I was proud of our guys. I mean, obviously Alex came out there, one of our top arms in summer, and kept us in the game. And, like I said, we were able to chip away some runs and take advantage of some miscues on their end. But just overall, like I said, we did a great job being able to come in after a first round bye and a day off and perform the way they did.
So Sam and I had a conversation about a week ago, and he stated to me that in his 6 years in the PSCL as a manager, this is the deepest talent pool. I'm curious to get your thoughts on that, because everybody that I talk to agrees with that sentiment. I just wanted to get your thoughts on the PSCL this year and what makes it different than other years.
Oh, I just think, Casey Dill and the group and staff and the organization has done a great job of continuously bringing in great talent. And I totally agree with Sam and the rest of the coaches that, this has got to be definitely the most deepest, I think, overall with quality of players and teams and all that stuff. So, yes, I would definitely agree. I think, this year, the talent that they brought in here to create this league, and they've done a great job.
A few minutes out from first pitch, still talking with head coach of the Blue Sox, Reed Santos. Reed, you're going against a Zach and Tino Novus team. They're going to be well coached. What are your first impressions when you talk about playing this Rush team that has been towards the top, but also in some other circles maybe a little overlooked? Just your first impressions on what they bring to the table in this championship.
Well, like I said, it starts with, Coach Zach and Tino out there. They've done a hell of a job this summer. And Coach Zach, he's familiar with this. He's always been a playoffs guy. He's always gotten his players ready to play, regardless of, how they do in the season. But, to me, I'm not surprised. They got a great group over there. I'm familiar with a lot of their players. They're familiar with our players. So, you just look at overall the 3 times that we played each other. I mean, we basically won one each, and then we tied the last one at a 1-1 ball game. So that just goes to show you the competition, the guys that they have over there, and what great games we put on the field every time out. So
there's going to be no tie in this one, obviously. I mean, so that, again, I love that it proves how close the season series was between y'all. Take us through a little bit of whatever you can share, what you're going to tell your guys before you run out, before this game gets going.
Oh, I don't have to say much. They know they came into this summer with a goal in mind, and they want to win. They're all competitors, just like, I know the Rush and Zach, and they're going to have their guys ready to go. But, not much to be said. This is a championship game. The last game, a lot of us, will be playing together. Just the camaraderie of the group that, we've built throughout this summer. Like I said, I don't have to say much. They go out there, they compete every day. And hopefully, like I said, we'll do another job tomorrow and we come out on the winning side.
Your job as a coach is to not only teach the fundamentals, Reed, but to really develop young men once their baseball careers are over. What is this is the last one we'll ask you before we let you get out of here and get ready for this game. What do you want each one of your guys to take away from this summer with you, even if it's for a short time?
Oh, I just definitely want to, instill confidence in them, and, going into wherever they may be going, for their fall season and their spring season coming up. I just, I just keep telling them. I've been telling them, to keep working hard, show up every day, and prove something. We always want to be better players. If you want to play at a high level, that's that's what's expected. So, go out there, play with confidence. And I think the number one thing is you have to compete. I think that's half the battle is going out there and competing, regardless of your talent level or whatnot. If I go out there and put up a good fight, you're in it. So, like I said, and maybe going this season, upcoming season, just play with confidence and play within yourself, and hopefully that that usually tends to kind of work out.
Awesome. Well, Reed, we hope that each one of your guys after this season, regardless, is going to, instill those in the programs they're in. But before anything else is said, good luck, and we appreciate you taking the time.
I appreciate it, EJ. Thanks a lot.
Once again, that was manager of the Blue Sox, Reed Santos. Thank you so much, Reed, for the interview. EJ, I'll ask you, what stood out from talking to Reed?
Well, not only just Reed, but Zach also. You really get the sense that both of these guys let the players dictate themselves. And what I mean by that is they allow their players to go about their routine the way that's going to make them the best player possible. They don't force anything too much. We talked with a couple of players earlier that reiterated what Reed tells them, is that they really let Reed do what he needs to do in order to get them ready. And what that means is not messing too much with their routines, but it could mean allowing them to feel comfortable. And I think that's the big takeaway from both of these guys. I appreciated Reed going into detail about how much the PSCL really has grown from a talent pool perspective and how much it has grown. We reiterated the sentiment from Sam that this league is only going to get better. And we've been along for the ride, at least for this portion of it. And we couldn't be more excited to be about 13 minutes away from the championship game first pitch, Adam.
But before that, EJ, we'll take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back with an interview of Hunter Anderson of the Rush. Highest average in the PSCL, hitting .595. That's right after this. And starting lineups. You're watching the PSCL Championship broadcast on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
Hey, Power Baseball fans. Looking to hit a home run against pests in your home? Rudy's Pest Control is your winning choice. Rudy's Flex 80/90 Pest Control Plan offers effective and affordable protection with just 5 visits a year instead of the usual 12, so you'll have more time to do what you love. Visit rudyspest.com or call 760-746-PEST and declare, heck no, 12's gotta go. Rudy's Pest Control is your home run choice, so get started today.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, cow, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Setting, we come and we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented. They cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
Here alongside Hunter Anderson. Hunter, you're on the Rush and you're in the championship today. How do you feel?
I feel good. I mean, we worked really, really hard to get here. We played a lot of close games, a lot of gritty games, a couple walk-off wins, a couple seventh inning, the closer comes in and shuts it out. So, I mean, we've got all the moments and we've got the right guys, and we're really excited today.
Now talk about the ups and downs throughout your playoff run. You're down to MLB DC China late in your first game and then a dominant win against the A's. How much confidence do you have right now in your team?
As I told Adam the other day, it's like when we were down in that game, we never counted ourselves out. We knew we were going to be playing on the 9th, and we just knew we had to string some hits together and string some good ABs. And, I mean, the balls fell our way that day. And, I mean, that's just kind of how it's been all season. We work hard, and sometimes you reap the benefits from it. And, like I said, we're a gritty team, and we're going to show that today.
Now talk about stringing hits together. You've been at the top of the PSCL all season long in average, hitting nearly 600. What has been so successful for you at the plate this summer?
I mean, you kind of just got to roll with what you do. Like I've got pop, but this summer I've just kind of tried to put the ball where they aren't and just kind of stick to my game, hitting hard ground balls, liners in the gaps, and it's just kind of reaped its benefits. You know, there's not a lot of Texas guys in this league, so I take a lot of pride in that and being from Texas and just doing what we do. And I mean, the stats show that I work really, really hard, and I'm really proud of what I've done and what the team's done.
Now, talking to your head coach, Zach Novus, yesterday, he talked about how much fun you guys were having and how quickly you guys were able to gel. Is that the same feel you get?
Oh, 100%. I mean, we were all hanging out outside of baseball on day 3. Like, as soon as we got done with our first practice, I was like, this is going to be a hell of a summer. And I just really enjoy the guys we play with, like Anthony Sanchez and Nate Cunningham. I mean, I never met those guys in my life, but now I'm going to be friends with them for a really long time. So I'm really happy with the way this team gets along and gets together, and we just have a great time.
Lastly, for you, Hunter, you're one of the leaders of this team. What is the message to your group before this championship game against the Blue Sox?
I told the guys just now, I was like, soak it all in. We're proud to be here, but the job's not finished. We still got 9 innings of baseball to play, and we're going to be ready.
Thanks, Hunter.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome back to Palm Springs Stadium. You just heard from Hunter Anderson of the Rush, the outfielder who's hitting .595 in the summer, highest in the PSCL. Adam Oppenheim alongside EJ Sanchez. EJ getting closer to game time. What are these players feeling right now?
Well, you just start to see the tension building, and honestly, in the mind of a player, you just want that first pitch to get thrown already, because then it just becomes baseball again. Everything outside of it is what's building right now, the championship game that's on the line. When we talked to Reed, he mentioned, well, at the end of the day, this is the last time this exact group of guys is going to be playing together. All of these different variables that start to creep their way into your mind go away once that first pitch is thrown. The umpire says ball or strike, and then you just go on and do the same thing you've done since you were a little kid. So really that's what's starting to creep in, is that everybody just wants to get that first pitch out of the way so they can just continue to play the game. And it's also important for players at this moment to take in the moment. You just heard from Hunter. He had that walk-off hit against MLB DC China to get them to this point, and now it all comes full circle. So these guys are ready to go. We're starting to see, just some of the actions that we're seeing displayed during warm-ups. These really are the two best teams, and that's why we're so excited to bring it to you today.
Now back here at Palm Springs Stadium, about 7 minutes away from first pitch. Let's get the starting lineups, and then I'll have your thoughts on both these teams. Starting for the visiting Rush, Hunter Anderson will lead off and hit first. Santiago Duarte will hit second. Kayan Dawson will hit third. And the cleanup spot's going to be Colin McCormick, followed by Nathan Cunningham. 6 and 7 is Sky Palmer and Alan Cerna, followed by Alec Bautista and Daniel Quadras. EJ, for you, what stands out about this Rush lineup?
Well, it's the fact that as a team, they're hitting above 300. I think that's where you have to start. You really are getting the two best offenses in the PSCL in terms of consistency-wise. And I'm looking at how long this lineup is. You have Alan Cerna, who had a walk-off hit and who's batting 300-plus in your 7-hole right now. And you have Daniel Quadras, we heard from Zach earlier, doing the catching, batting 9. He had the winning hit essentially yesterday to get them started and get that game rolling, really. So it's really how long this lineup is, how many guys can do damage, and that's really what the Rush have hung their hat on as this season has progressed.
And the Rush are managed by Zach Novus. Rush in their first-round game knocked off China 7-6 on Friday. That was a thrilling come-from-behind win. Like you mentioned, game-winning hit by Hunter Anderson. And they beat the A's yesterday by a score of 8-0. It really didn't indicate how the game was played because it was close the entire way.
Well, when you have Anthony Sanchez on the hill, you don't really need to score that many runs. He was absolutely fantastic, as he has been. He's leading the PSCL in strikeouts. He's going to be cheering from the dugout today, obviously, with how many pitches he threw. The entire scope of the Rush season really doesn't, like you said, dictate it. It hasn't been overwhelmingly dominant, but it's been consistently great baseball, and that's what you have to look for when you're going into this game against a Blue Sox team that, for all intents and purposes, has been the favorite really since this season started a month ago.
Yeah, the Blue Sox have won 5 straight. They defeated the Coyotes in their first matchup by a score of 5-1, and beat the Colonials yesterday 8-1, fueled by 6-run inning early in that game. Let's get you the starting Blue Sox lineup managed by Reed Santos. Javen Baxa will hit first, followed by Ethan Swidler. The catcher hitting third will be Dylan Abid. And the cleanup spot's going to be Bodie Grieve. Fred Ramos will hit fifth, and David Orozco will follow. Hitting seventh will be Michael Gonzalez, and that's the two Anthonys, Anthony Cepeda and Anthony Mathiasen, 8-9. EJ, this is a dangerous Blue Sox lineup. They have scored a ton of runs this year, 160. That's 30 more than the next closest. And they've also given up the fewest runs by 2.
The run differential is what you look at when you look at the Blue Sox because they have found multiple ways to beat you. The offense is well noted, and everybody knows that the Blue Sox are going to swing the bats. I mean, you have Ethan Swidler in the tool hole as a catcher that's been leading the team in extra base hits. You have Javen Baxa, who has been a really good table setter, whether it be out of the 9-hole or whether it be in the leadoff spot. And you have Michael Gonzalez, who has done double duty, both playing for the Blue Sox and for the Palm Springs Power. He's in your 7-hole. So, again, that's the main thing about both of these lineups that really sticks out to me is that both can provide length. There's not only great bat-to-ball skills throughout the lineup, but there's a decent amount of pop as well. You have Bodie Grieve for the Blue Sox, who has 2 home runs this season, and the pitching also between these two teams. And that's what I want to focus on today. You can swing the bat as good as you want to, but in the playoffs and in championship baseball games, pitching is what matters, and we certainly have a really good pitching matchup on our hands.
So let's talk about that. It's Jay Peters for the Rush and Trevor Morgan for the Blue Sox. First, EJ, with Jay Peters, what have you seen this year?
Well, he's just been able to mix up his pitches very well throughout the season. He was an all-star and found his way into the All-Star game. A fastball that really is going to be challenging, not only with velocity, but also when it comes to RPMs. It's a heavy fastball to hit. Being able to utilize his out pitches in the best way possible. He's going to be a tough customer for this team if they want to be able to score some runs the way that they have this season.
Now flipping it over to the other side. For the home team, the Blue Sox, Trevor Morgan is on the mound. What are you looking for him?
Well, Trevor Morgan this season, he has been very solid. 9 runs and 15 in the third innings. He's given up 19 hits. The 15 strikeouts is what stands out to me. You look at the 4.63 ERA, it's really clouded by one outing, but who was that one outing against? It was against the Rush. That was the last time he really got touched up. 2 innings, 4 earned runs, 7 hits, and Nathan Cunningham had a home run off of him. So you look at this, and when you see the Blue Sox, they obviously are pegged as the favorite, but then you look at the Rush, who really have been the only team to give them trouble this season. And talking with Tino Novus, he said, well, look, they have 4 non-wins, and we have 2 of them. So that certainly makes the ball club feel a lot better going into a game like today. Reed really has a lot of confidence in Trevor just to fill up the zone. He understands how good of the defense has been behind him throughout the season. So as long as Morgan's able to eliminate free passes and be competitive with strikes in the zone, I expect to see more of the same with a lot of weak contact and sneaking in his strikeouts whenever he can get them.
And like you mentioned, EJ, these teams played 3 times during the regular season, 1-1-1 record. The first matchup was on June 19th, where it was a 12-6 Rush win. And then on June 22nd, just a few days later, it was a 14-5 Blue Sox win. And the last 2 times these teams played, on June 29th, it was a tie at 1-1. EJ, we're in for a treat.
That's what I mentioned in that interview with Reed. It's like, hey, look, nobody's getting bailed out today. There will not be another tie. You know what I mean? I mean, these 2 teams proved that they are about as even as you can get. I mean, going through a 1-1 ball game into the 9th inning, the only reason we couldn't play the rest of that game through is because it was the regular season. I mean, we could have played that game all day. It would have been a treat for us. It would have been a treat for everybody else to watch these 2 teams and what they have put on the field this season. And now we're getting what we asked for. Really, 2 of the top 3 teams. I think you said it best, that we not only have a treat, but we have the championship that not only these players deserve, but the PSCL community as a whole deserves.
Once again, it's the Rush and the Blue Sox in the PSCL championship game. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll be back for first pitch. You're watching the PSCL championship on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
2 locations with something for everyone. Stuffed Pizza Bar and Grill.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet? Discovering our history? Experiencing our scenic trails? Getting that perfect souvenir? Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at pstramway.com.
Desert Air started right here in the Coachella Valley in 1954, and we've been welcoming customers to our family ever since. With nearly 70 years of proven trust, dependability, and experience, we've got the AC and heating expertise to help you all year round. Plus, our factory-trained technicians provide well-informed maintenance, repairs, and installation, so you get our industry-best products with industry-best service. Contact our family at Desert Air. We'll make sure you live comfortably, always.
Welcome back to Palm Springs Stadium for the PSCL Championship. Adam Oppenheim alongside EJ Sanchez. Glad you could join us on this Tuesday morning. A little bit of heat in the air, but won't bother either of these teams because they're playing for the PSCL 2024 title. And on the mound for the Blue Sox, like we mentioned just before the commercial break, it's Trevor Morgan from Grossmont College from San Diego, California. He's had 5 appearances, 2 being starts, 15 1/3, 9 earned runs. EJ, you mentioned the 15 strikeouts and 15 1/3.
Well, because he's been able to demonstrate that he can both throw his off-speed pitches early in the count to set up hitters and also to put them away late. And with Trevor being basically a split pitcher in terms of starting and relieving, I don't expect him to need a ton of length. Reed Santos has a fresh bullpen. Jacob Glazner only threw about 25 pitches a few days ago against the Coyotes in the opening round win. So I expect the leash to be maybe just a little bit tighter in a championship atmosphere, but still look for Trevor to get his strikeouts. If he eliminates the free passes, it should be another quality start for him, which has been the calling card of this Blue Sox pitching staff the entire season.
Just a couple minutes until we get underway here in the PSCL Championship with Hunter Anderson. And 595 is going to be first up for the rush. But first, let's get the Blue Sox defense. In the outfield from left to right, Bodie Greaves in left, Anthony Cepeda's in center, Anthony Mathiason's in right, Fred Ramos is hit the hot corner at third, Michael Gonzalez is at short, Javen Baxa is at second base, David Orozco man's first. Behind the plate is Ethan Swidler catching Trevor Morgan, who has a four-seam curveball, changeup, and slider. And like you mentioned, EJ, the one time Morgan got banged up a little bit. It was against the Rush on June 19th, went 2 innings, allowed 4 earned runs, including a home run against Nathan Cunningham, who's hitting 5th in the lineup today for the Rush.
Nathan Cunningham, along with Sky Palmer in the 6 hole, their job is really to lengthen out this lineup and make sure that you can't become too top-heavy. You have to throw your best stuff throughout the lineup because 1 through 9, this Rush team is dangerous. They've displayed it time and time again. Adam, the goosebumps are starting to fade away, and now we're just getting to baseball. So honored to be here with you calling this PSCL championship.
Amen. First pitch is by the bat of Anderson. Strike one On a fastball from Trevor Morgan, Hunter Anderson, 595 average, leads the PSCL, and a 700 on-base percentage. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Catches the bottom of the zone, strike two. Our umpire crew. Behind the plate's William Macareno. In the field, it's John DeCesar at third, Ryan Carroll at second, and Ben Sontag down the first base line. The 0-2 pitch to Anderson is taken high. It's 1-2. Now, Anderson doesn't strike out a lot. 11 walks to 5 strikeouts on the year.
Well, that's the trait that you need to have in your leadoff hitter, and Hunter's not going to try to pull the ball too much with too much power. He's trying to get a barrel on a ball.
1-2 pitch. Just misses inside. It's 2-2.
What I mean by that, Adam, is not necessarily trying to force any power, but he's a big bat-to-ball guy that really is just going to try to use the big part of the field to do most of his damage.
Here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's a pop-up. It's going to be playable. David Orozco calls everyone off and makes the catch for the first out of the PSCL championship.
I don't know if you heard that, Adam, but that was a collective deep breath from everybody on the Blue Sox right now, that now it's time to settle in. You get rid of maybe the most dangerous hitter in the lineup in terms of giving themselves a chance, and now you can just settle into your regular defense, and a defense that has been playing outstanding, especially in the playoffs.
In steps Santiago Duarte, 429 on the year, 545 on base percentage. Not much easier. First ball is a fly ball into right field. Anthony Mathiasen will move in and to his left to make the catch. So 1 pitch, 1 out against Santiago Duarte. And quickly there's 2 outs at the top of the first for Morgan.
You know, you don't fault Duarte for that, because batting 400 plus, and my pick as if there was such a list, maybe the biggest all-star snub, but you had too many good players on the rush. But Trevor again is just going back to forcing action early and not allowing the rush to settle into anything offensively.
First pitch is a fastball, and it's fouled off by Caden Dawson, the first baseman for the rush. Really strong start from Trevor Morgan. You have a feeling trying to get revenge on this rush team, and this would be the perfect time in the championship game. Next pitch misses inside. It's 1-1.
Already going to the slider a couple of times, and keeping the rush off balance in terms of not being able to hunt fastballs might be the key for Morgan today.
The 1-1 pitch is another slider, and it misses inside. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs, top of the first, between the Rush and the Blue Sox. Blue Sox, the home team today, with the better record throughout the regular season. 2-1 pitch. It's taken upstairs. It's 3-1.
And Adam, I mentioned it on a couple of broadcasts with the Rush. They're as comfortable as any team when it comes to 2-strike hitting. So as a pitcher, you cannot let yourself relax. You have to make sure you keep your foot on the gas, because they will make you pay with 2 outs.
The 3-1 pitch misses high, ball 4. And Caden Dawson is aboard with a walk.
It's going to be the theme, really, of the day, that it's not going to get much easier, because now, after a 2-out walk, you're sending up a guy in Colin McCormick who's batting .380 on the season.
He has had a great summer as well for the Rush, and takes the first pitch outside on the heater. For Dawson, that's just his 4th walk of the year, but a really good plate appearance out of the 3 spot for Zach Novus' team. The 1-0 pitch, line down the first base line, but foul into the bleachers.
At-bats seem to take on more meaning when you get into deep playoff runs, and especially championship games, where you kind of really hone in a lot more to make sure that your focus is a little more refined in terms of trying to get on base and force something, especially with 2 outs.
The 1-1 pitch to McCormick is fouled off in pretty much the same exact spot this time, just over the bleachers, and it's 2 strikes. Counts 1-2 on Colin McCormick with 2 outs, top of the first. Colin McCormick 1 for 7 in the playoffs with the run scored against the A's yesterday morning. The 1-2 pitch misses high, and the count moves to 2-2. A lot of reliance on the fastball so far from Trevor Morgan.
But right now you set yourself up for a slider, because you've now changed the eye level with a high fastball. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go to a breaking ball in the outside half.
2-2 pitch. It's a fastball. It's driven into center field. Coming on is Anthony Cepeda. He makes the running catch into the right center field gap. The Rush score no runs in the first inning on 1 walk. We head to the home half of the first. Blue Sox bats coming up at the PSCL Championship. It's the Blue Sox and the Rush. You're watching the PSCL Championship on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
We just got our best ever ratings from U.S. News and World Report. We're the #1 hospital in Riverside and San Bernardino counties. High performing in 17 common procedures from joint replacements to heart attack care. And for the first time, national ranking as high performing in 3 adult specialties. We're proud of these ratings, but what matters most, as always, is how we rate with you. Learn more at eisenhowerhealth.org/awards.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Whenever you find yourself hungry for something real, simple, and true, we're here for you.
That's what a hamburger's all about.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $29.99. At Palm Springs' most popular restaurant, there's always a party at Lulu.
Welcome back to the PSCL Championship broadcast. Bottom of the first between the Blue Sox and the Rush, with Javen Baxa standing in front of his dugout, getting ready to hit. Let's get you the Rush defense. In the outfield from left to right, Hunter Anderson's in left, Sky Palmer's in center field, Alec Bautista's in right. Around the diamond from third to first, Nathan Cunningham is at the hot corner. Colin McCormick, man shortstop. Santiago Duarte is at second base. Caden Dawson over at first. Behind the plates, Daniel Quadras catching Jay Peters. EJ, what can you tell us about Jay?
26 strikeouts in 24 innings, a perfect 3-0 on the year. And he's an all-star for a reason. He pitched on Sunday against the Haymakers, went 5 innings, gave up 1 run, 3 strikeouts. He's going to be a guy that really has his advantages whenever he's getting ahead early and then being able to go with that off-speed stuff later in the count.
First pitch to Box's off-speed pitch off the end of his bat. Caden Dawson is going to flip it on and not able to make the catch as Jay Peters. Boxa was going to be it anyways. A really slow roller off the bat at 35. Boxa will certainly take that. It's an infield single.
There's a reason why that play is worked on for hours during Major League Spring Training. Is because it's such a tough play. You have a second baseman that wants to charge and get it. You want the first baseman to come off the bag, but it forces the pitcher to have to cover. It's an awkward angle to throw from, and I think you're right, Adam. Boxa most likely beats it himself, but the table setter doing what he's done throughout the course of this season again.
Jay Peters will come home to the plate against Ethan Swidler. Fly ball center field. Sky Palmer will range back, get under the ball, and make the catch. In center field, the ball hit well by Swidler, but this park plays very deep, EJ. 350 down the line, 400 to straightaway center, and it's out number 1 in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, it's off the bat at 91 miles an hour, so you do expect maybe a little more damage to come with it, but maybe got a grain or two below that baseball. And Swidler leading the team in doubles, that's really been his profile, is that he's not going to be the highest average hitter, but whenever he makes contact, he's going to put a charge into one. That time just came up a little bit under the ball, and gives Jay Peters a much-needed first out.
Javen Box on first base has 4 stolen bases, 0 times he's been caught stealing. First pitch is low, ball 1. Jay Peters has a 4-seam fastball, a 2-seam fastball, a knuckleball that he rarely uses, and a splitter. 1-0 on Dylan Abede. The lefty stands in and will get the 1-0 pitch and take it inside. It's 2-0. Abede gave the Blue Sox the lead against the Colonials in the first. But that was just all Blue Sox from the beginning.
All it really takes is one big inning. You heard it on the postgame yesterday. One inning like that, and your pitcher's able to settle in. And it was a pitcher that, in Leo, that didn't really need that much to work with.
The 2-0 misses low, and it's quickly 3-0 on Dylan Abede.
What's interesting about Abede is, though he's been so successful all season long, hitting at a 372 clip, he has yet to record a hit against the Rush.
Jay Peters will deliver the 3-0 pitch, and that catches the bottom of the zone, strike 1. Good pitch from Jay Peters, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike, 1 out. Runner on first, Javen Boxa after infield single to lead off the bottom of the first for the Blue Sox. 3-1 hitters count. Comes to the plate. Line drive into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. There's the hit that Dylan Abid has been looking for against the rush. And it's first and second, one out for the Blue Sox.
What I like about what Abid's approach looked like on that swing is 3-1, it's really easy to get big and outside of your mechanics. This time he shortens up and just really flicks his hands the other way and just remains strong with his top hand, and that's why he's able to still stay on top of it, not only, but he's also able to hit it with some good authority, nearly 90 miles an hour off the bat, and the Blue Sox getting to business early.
Bodie Grieve is next up, takes the first pitch inside, and Jay Peters not been throwing a lot of strikes so far. Javen Baxa on second. Dylan Abid at first base, one out, and a 1-0 count in the bottom of the first. No score. Blue Sox in the rush. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's taken just below the zone, ball 2. A big spot early in this game. You got to avoid the big innings against the Blue Sox. That's why they've scored so many runs in this PSCL summer. 2-0 to Grieve. Here's the pitch from Peters. Misses high, ball 3. And he's fallen behind on back-to-back batters. 3 balls and no strikes.
You're just asking for trouble when you're doing that, especially against a team that's not scared to swing 3-0.
The 3-0 pitch to Grieve. Misses for ball 4. A 4-pitch walk to load the bases in the first with 1 out for the Blue Sox.
With all credit that's due to Bodie Grieve for the at-bat, 4 pitches that really weren't near the zone. And now you find yourself in a spot where you have your 5-hole hitter coming up and Zach Novus already having to use a mound visit for Jay Peters.
Jay Peters coming into this start on the mound, like you mentioned, 3-0 on the year, 3.75 ERA. And the 24 innings, 26 strikeouts, and only 7 walks, but so far, even though he only has 1 walk, he's struggling with command.
It's the fastball right now. It's about 80 to 81 right now. He's touched 82 a couple of times, but, velocity kind of goes out the window when you're not able to locate it very well. And that's a really lonely spot for a pitcher to be, is when you're up there on the mound and a guy that probably throws his fastball 70 to 75% of the time, and you just simply don't have it. And I think this is an adjustment also that Daniel Quadras has to make, where you want to get the fastball working. It's going to be needed to have a good start. But at the same time, you think about planning later. You have to go to another pitch right now, or at least talk to him and ask what else feels good, because the fastball right now, it could work later in the game, but it's not right now. And you're already at a tipping point in the first inning where a change does have to be made, and I'm sure that's what Zach Novus is reiterating to his pitcher right now.
Zach Novus been on the mound for about a minute and a half approximately. And looks like the meeting will be done on the mound, and it's Fred Ramos who's going to step in for the Blue Sox. Fred Ramos hitting .351 on the year, .478 on-base percentage. A big-time power hitter for the Blue Sox. Three triples on the year. And we'll step in, bases loaded, 1 out. Square around a bunt, pull back, and take strike 1. Wow.
It's the last thing that I expected, for sure. I spoke with Reed, off air before that interview, and I asked, is there anything else you have up your sleeve? And he said, I'm going to trust the guys, really. And that would have been a heck of a way to start, a square around bunt for your 5-hole hitter.
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Ramos. It misses low. It's 1-1. Bases low for the Blue Sox with 1 out, bottom of the first. Javen Baxa's on third base after he singled. Dylan Abid's on second base after he also had a base hit the other way. And Bodie Grieve walked is on first. Bases full of Blue Sox. The 1-1 pitch. Misses high and away. The count moves to 2-1.
As a hitter, when you're seeing a guy miss with his fastball, like to the degree that Jay Peters is, now it just makes it a lot easier to shorten up your zone and make sure you can get a pitch up in the zone to drive. If you're Fred Ramos, that has to be the mindset.
Counts 2-1. Peters is set. Here comes the delivery. Misses low, ball 3.
I really wish there could be, more of a conversation about what's going on right now, Adam, but it's simply just missing spots with the fastball. And it's that time he even goes to a little bit of a more of a cut fastball, and it doesn't work out the same way.
3-1. Peters has got to throw a strike. Just misses outside. Ball 4. Looked like it might have caught the corner of the zone, but William Macareno calls it a ball. Javen Baxa comes in to score. It's 1-0 Blue Sox in the first.
This has to go into a battle mentality really quickly if you're Jay Peters. Look, you've already given up the 1 run, and the Blue Sox, after a couple of hits, they've earned it, but they haven't knocked the ball around the yard. This is where minimize has to become the key word.
First pitch to David Orozco down the first base line and foul. Got himself into a little bit of a jam here in the first, did Jay Peters of the Rush. He's given up a couple hits, one that was not hit very hard at all, but the back-to-back walks has hurt him here in the first. No balls, 1 strike on David Orozco, the first baseman for the Blue Sox. The righty gets the pitch from Peters. It misses outside. It's 1-1. This has not been able to have command of his fastball.
And now he's asking for a new ball, and now you're starting to see some action in the Rush bullpen. And we talked about it in the opening, Adam, that the leash could be a little bit shorter when you're in championship games, and it looks like it's going to be a little quicker of a warm-up session than usual.
Counts even at 1-1 on David Orozco with 1 out. Pitch misses high and tight. It's 2-1. And it's also interesting to note that the PSCL all season long has been 7 innings. We're 9 innings today for the championship. We'll keep talking about that throughout the game. But a 9-inning game between 2 of the best in the PSCL. The 2-1 pitch is fouled back, and the count moves to 2-2.
Derek Ball is the right-hander that's warming in the bullpen for the Rush. He's been relied upon in a relief role throughout the season for Zach Novus. And he's hoping not to have to go in this first inning and hope that Jay Peters can find some command and get some outs.
Bases loaded, 1 out, bottom of the first. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Misses outside. Blocked by Quadras, and Abid will stay put at third base. Oh, what a block by Daniel Quadras. He saved a run.
Well, in this situation, you can't even call it a block. It's just a backhanded desperation attempt, but it shows the lateral mobility that Quadras possesses. And as much as you can say you tried to do that, you really are just sending up a prayer when those pitches happen, but it's after years and years of countless reps of doing it.
3-2 pitch. Here comes the payoff. Soft ground ball towards the Blue Sox dugout. It's foul, so we're going to do the 3 balls and 2 strike pitch again.
This is the second or third time that Jay Peters has tossed away a ball that he didn't like. It's a little more of a damp infield with the first game of the day on the stadium, but Peters is just not liking the way these balls are feeling in his hand right now.
Caden Dawson and Nathan Cunningham at the corners, both playing a little far back. Here comes another payoff pitch. Softly grounded right near Michael Gonzalez in the on-deck circle. So David Orozco stays alive for the Blue Sox. Orozco hitting .286 on the year and getting on base at a .432 clip. About half the time. 5 walks and 5 strikeouts. Another full count pitch. It's sent on into center field. This should get a run home. Sky Palmer will make the catch. Tagging and scoring as Dylan Abid standing up 2-0 Blue Sox in the PSCL championship game.
The approach was obvious with that swing of Orozco. He's also not trying to do too much. Productive outs are how you win championship baseball games, Adam. And he didn't try to hit a home run. He didn't try to get out of his mechanics. He really was just trying to put a ball in the air. And that's all you have to do when you have the bases loaded. You're playing with house money. As long as you put a good swing on the ball and are able to elevate it, good things are going to happen. And a 2-0 lead in the first is certainly a good place to start.
Now up for the Blue Sox is Michael Gonzalez. Takes the first pitch just inside. According to home plate umpire William Macareno, it's Bodie Greaves at second. Fred Ramos is at first. They both walked. 2 runs home in the inning. Bottom of the first, Blue Sox in the rush. In a 9-inning contest. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Greaves takes off for third. And Quadras didn't even see him stealing. And Jay Peters didn't even look back to second before that pitch. Easy stolen base for Bodie Greaves.
That's the last thing you're thinking about, to be honest. If you're a pitcher struggling with command, the last thing you're thinking about is switching up your timings. You're just trying to find the strike zone. Bodie Grieve takes advantage and gets a heck of a read off of his secondary.
Next pitch is a ground ball into left field. That's going to score Grieve on the RBI single from Michael Gonzalez. The stolen base, the 4th of the year for Bodie Grieve, pays off on the very next pitch. 3-0 Blue Sox in the first.
We've talked about length. We've talked about not being able to take any sort of hitter off in this Blue Sox lineup, and it was only a matter of time. If you start to lose your command and give up free passes, this Blue Sox team will make you pay. They've done it time and time again, and now you're starting to see the benefits pop up with a 3-0 lead.
With 2 outs, it brings up Anthony Cepeda. Takes the first pitch in for ball 1. Anthony Cepeda, the 8th hitter in the inning for the Blue Sox. A huge first inning for the team that led the PSCL in scoring. Next pitch, line drive, left field, base hit. Coming around to score is Fred Ramos. Hunter Anderson will throw to the plate. It's going to be too late. Throw down to third. In time to get Gonzalez at third. Run comes in to score on the RBI single from Anthony Cepeda. Ramos touches home. As Gonzalez went from second to third, Quadras made a great throw to Nathan Cunningham to tag out Gonzalez, but it's 4 in the first inning, EJ.
4 runs, and it allows Trevor Morgan to take an extra deep breath and understand now you can pitch with a lead. This Rush team isn't going anywhere, though, Adam. A 9-inning game especially, I'm still not going to be surprised if this game ends up being close with the type of teams that we have playing today.
The Blue Sox score 4 runs on 4 hits. With a pair of walks, we head to the top of the second. The Blue Sox in control early. It's 4-0. We head to the top of the second. You're watching the PSCL Championship broadcast on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
Desert Air started right here in the Coachella Valley in 1954, and we've been welcoming customers to our family ever since. With nearly 70 years of proven trust, dependability, and experience, we've got the AC and heating expertise to help you all year round. Plus, our factory-trained technicians provide well-informed maintenance, repairs, and installation, so you get our industry-best products with industry-best service. Contact our family at Desert Air. We'll make sure you live comfortably, always.
Like a family setting, you know, we come and we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family-oriented. You know, they cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
Back here for the PSCL Championship game. Nathan Cunningham steps in the top of the second against Trevor Morgan, who fires a first pitch just low. It's a check swing. He did not go around, says first base umpire Ben Sontag. Nathan Cunningham had a home run last time he saw Trevor Morgan. It was a blast into left center field that went over 400 feet. The 1-0 pitch to Cunningham. Catches the top of the zone, strike 1.
What's important for the Blue Sox, especially in a 9-inning game, is to understand you don't have to get back all 4 runs right now. If you can just start chipping away, maybe even 1, it just sends a different level of confidence into that dugout that this is going to be a long game, and you are one of the best offenses in the entire league.
The next pitch misses outside. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. The Rush looking to answer here in the second. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Cunningham swung right through the pitch, and the count's even at 2-2. There's a fastball at 82. Trevor Morgan trying to get the all-important first out of the inning. The 2-2 pitch to Cunningham. Catches the outside corner, strike 3 on a fastball. A painted heater for Morgan for out number 1 of the second.
Running up to 83. This is a championship kind of feeling that you're getting from Trevor Morgan. He hasn't been, the number 1 guy all season long, but he's been relied upon. And now with a 4-run lead, you're allowing him to puff his chest just a little bit more and feel himself as he progresses through this lineup. At least through the first time, but now when you have this kind of confidence, you have the confidence that you can roll through it maybe a couple of times.
Here is Sky Palmer, and will follow. First pitch back above the net, and it's 0-1 with 1 out. 4 runs on 4 hits for the Blue Sox in the bottom of the first. But once again, playing 9 innings today. That is big, EJ. It is really hard to come from those multi-run deficits in just 7 innings. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It catches the outside corner, strike 2.
Well, the urgency is a lot more stressed in those 7-inning games. But still, you have to have still some of that sense because you're having a pitcher that's starting to, gain more stamina as the game's going to wear on.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Palmer. Got a piece of it. Fouls it off. Stayed right near home plate, and we'll do a 2-strike pitch again.
Just in body language right now, you see how much the 4 runs are felt, at least in the rush dugout, because it is so hard to play from behind, and we mentioned it's going to be a long game. But regardless of it, that's the first real haymaker that's been taken in this game, so it's going to be important to see how they respond.
The 0-2 pitch misses low and off the outside corner. It's 1-2. And the response has to come fairly quickly, EJ.
You can't allow a pitcher to get into his rhythm, and that's why it has to come fairly quickly. But on the reverse of it, your team puts up 4 runs. Trevor Morgan's job is to get them back to the bat racks and off of defense.
1-2 pitch. It was fouled off of Sky Palmer's leg or foot possibly as it trickled down the third base line. We stay at 1-2 with 1 out. 4-0 Blue Sox in the top of the second. Glad you could join us for the PSCL Championship broadcast. All the games these teams have played this summer has led up to this championship game. The 1-2 pitch to Sky Palmer, set into left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Sky Palmer records the first hit for the Rush today, and they have 1 on with 1 out.
This is a fastball that just catches a lot of the plate. Sky Palmer's shown the ability to be consistent in that middle end portion of the plate, and that's where he's done most of his damage. And with 2 strikes on him, it makes it that much more important for the Rush dugout to see that, Trevor Morgan is hittable, and they can mount this comeback if they can just string a couple of things together.
Alan Cerna, the lefty, will be next up, hitting .324. Gets sawed off on the first pitch. Morgan looks to second and will just toss it on to first for the sure out. So Palmer advances to second on the 1-3 putout.
A fastball at 83, really on the black of the plate, and Alan Cerna would be the first one to tell you he's frustrated with himself. When you're just trying to count base runners and string things along, first pitch breaking your bat is probably one of the worst feelings you can have. And Cerna has been so good this season for the Rush, and now he's leaving it up to Alec Bautista, who hasn't been too bad himself.
Alec Bautista with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position. First pitch off the end of his bat. Strike 1. Bautista, pair of doubles on the year, 6 runs batted in. .457 on base percentage.
He has hits in both of the playoff games this season for the Rush. I'm sure he'd love nothing more than at this point to add on to that total.
0-1 count with Palmer at second base. It's in the dirt. Nice block by Swidler, stopping the advancement of Palmer to third. Count moves to 1-1. And we'll see where the Rush turn in the bottom of the second inning if they turn away from Jay Peters into the bullpen. If they roll them out for another inning, the 1-1 pitch. Off-speed pitch, it's a slider, and he went around strike 2. Dirty slider. And it gets Bautista to swing for strike 2. Counts 1-2 with 2 outs. Sky Palmer on second base after his 1-out single. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Morgan will fire home. Off-speed pitch. Did he go around? He did not, says umpire Ben Sontag. That time he was able to hold up on the check swing.
Well, they've doubled up on a couple of sliders back-to-back, and as a pitcher, now you get to have a little bit of fun with this because you've gotten 2 pitches on off-speed that you see a swing that is not all that comfortable, and you can still go with the fastball if you feel like it.
What will Morgan go to here? It's a fastball. It misses way out. And the count moves to full with 2 outs.
With a base open and the 9-hole man coming up, this is a spot where you don't have to give in and give Bautista something to hit. You can go back to that slider and live to play another batter.
Payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the curveball. Second strikeout of the day for Trevor Morgan. He throws up a 0 in the top of the second. We head to the bottom of the second. Blue Sox bats back up. 4-0, they lead it. You're watching the PSCL Championship broadcast on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
Outdoor living in the Coachella Valley is spectacular, and Tessera is the premier builder of outdoor living spaces in the desert. Nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta. For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in-app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, cow, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Welcome back to Palm Springs Stadium. It will be the end of the day for Jay Peters. It's going to be Derek Ball in to pitch for the Rush. That's super surprising with Peters giving up 4 earned runs in the first. And it's going to be a new pitcher on the mound, and that is Derek Ball. And he's out of the windup. Will deliver his first pitch to Anthony Mathiasen. It's outside on the off-speed pitch, ball 1. EJ, what can you tell us about Derek?
Well, he's been relied upon out of the bullpen. This is his 5th appearance. He's pitched 8 1/3 innings, only given up 3 hits, 7 strikeouts. He has yet to give up an earned run. The key for Derek has been limiting the free passes. He had 3 walks in 1 inning against DC China in the first round, but he was able to settle in from there and not allow any runs to come across. So if he's able to limit those, he's going to be able to give some length. The longest outing this season was a few days ago, though, with 3 innings. So I'm sure that Zach Novus thinking about piecing somebody together after him, but he really needs some length out of Ball.
The 2-0 pitch is fouled off, and it's 2-1. It's a move you don't want to make, but it's a championship move if you want to get back into this game. With the Rush really seeing Jay Peters extremely well, and him not having a great feel for the fastball. The 2-1 pitch is lined into left center field. It's a base hit. Mathiasen's going to make the turn. He's going to hold at first base. Leadoff single, Anthony Mathiasen, who has been swinging a great bat as of late.
Adam, you can complicate things as much as you want to, and some days it might not even matter the pitcher. A team just is locked into a point where you can throw Roger Clemens on the mound, and it's not going to matter. When you have a team that is hitting as contagious as they are, it's so hard to go against as a pitcher and as an entire pitching staff, and I think the Rush are finding that out still with a lot of game to play.
Javen Baxa, the leadoff hitter for the Blue Sox, steps in, takes the pitch right by his helmet. Did it hit him? It did not. Baxa trying to toss the bat, but didn't do a great job convincing home plate umpire William Macareno.
Heck of a baseball player. Will not be submitting an Academy Award bid, I think, anytime soon, Adam.
Counts 1 ball and no strikes on Javen Baxa. Singleton came around to score his first time up. Mathiasen takes off for second. Here's the throw down for Quadras. They got him at second. Oh, what a throw from Danny Quadras.
It's the release that makes this such a good play for Quadras, because at first Mathiasen gets a heck of a jump. That's why I think Reed Santos is okay with what just happened, but the exchange all the way through from Quadras, that can be a sign of getting things going as much as anything in a game when you have defensive plays made by your catcher.
2 balls, no strikes. Next pitch misses high. It's 3-0. For Mathiasen, he had 3 stolen bases this summer. 0 times he's been caught stealing until now. Daniel Quadras with a dart behind the plate on 1 hop. Scooped up by Kyle McCormick very cleanly. The 3-0 pitch is in for a strike on the inside corner. And a Javen Baxa, the infielder, the freshman who went to La Quinta High School. It's in 5 out of his last 6 games. Fly ball down the first base line. Drifting foul. And another full count. We have seen a lot of those, and the Blue Sox are making the rush throw a lot of pitches.
You're only forcing this bullpen issue a little bit more. You haven't seen too many first pitch swings that haven't resulted in good things, and if you have, then you've seen guys prolong at bats, and that's really going to be the key to making sure that Zach Novus has to use not only just 2 or 3, but maybe 4 or 5 pitchers and make it that much easier on your hitters to try to navigate their way through a bullpen.
Derek Ball just been fastball slider so far through a pair of batters. Here's the full count pitch. Inside ball 4. Boxes on for the second time today.
It's a deja vu moment, really, when you're talking about Javen Baxa, because he did the same thing in their first playoff matchup where he's so focused at the beginning of games, and it's a lost art to be so locked in from the get-go, because if you're able to set the table for your team, especially in the first 2 innings like this, it makes it that much easier for your RBI guys to have their opportunities.
First pitch to Ethan Swidler is inside, nearly caught him on the hands. Swidler had a deep fly ball his first time up. The Blue Sox looking to add on to what is a 4-0 lead in the bottom of the second. They scored all 4 in the first. 1 out here in the bottom of the second. A check on Box at first base, back in time. Box has 4 stolen bases on the year. It's good for 3rd on the team. Actually tied for 3rd with Noah Bufford. Ball, a quick look at Baxa, fires home, and the slider's well outside. It's 2-0. You have a feeling that Derek Ball a little bit distracted by Javen Baxa at first base.
Everybody on the Blue Sox proposes a stolen base arsenal or a stolen base knack, and it makes it that much harder because you're also going from the windup to the stretch, and now you have the added pressure of holding on a runner for your catcher.
The 2-0 pitches, Baxa takes off, grounded down the third base line and foul. Like the hit and run was potentially on for the Blue Sox.
It's a good time to do it with your hitter being ahead and you have a guy that can run at first. And even a man at the plate in Swidler who has shown the ability to handle the bat very well for himself, so I don't mind that call at all by Reed Santos.
2 balls, 1 strike on Ethan Swidler. Baxa pretty sizably at first base. Quick throw home from Ball. That slide step, and it's fouled off to the right side. So Ball shorting his motion to prevent Baxa from taking second base. It's 2-2 on Ethan Swidler. When he hits the ball, he sure has some power. Leads the team in doubles with 6, also has a triple, a home run. 9 runs batted in. Just 3 strikeouts on the year to 6 walks. The 2-2 pitch to Swidler. Outside, it gets away from Quadras in the dirt. Baxa advances to second on the wild pitch. And the Blue Sox have another runner in scoring position and a 3-2 count on their 2-hitter, Ethan Swidler.
Just a breaking ball that I think Ball didn't get out of his hand, and he just pulls it down with him. And it's a tough block for Quadras. He's shown the ability to be very good to that side when keeping balls in front, but it's an awkward angle that he has to attack it at. And the stolen base threat really doesn't matter. He finds him way in scoring position anyway.
3-2 pitch, misses outside, ball 4. Great at-bat by Ethan Swidler. And it's first and second, 1 out for the Blue Sox in the second, and more traffic on the bases.
The first courtesy runner we're seeing as Isaac Rodriguez out of the University of St. Catharines is going to come in and courtesy run for the catcher. But you're exactly right, Adam, and we mentioned it right before Ball came on and stepped onto the mound that He's good when he has his stuff working in the strike zone. The free passes are what make things so dangerous. And, you know, you don't shortchange any team, but MLB DC China is not up to the offensive reputation that the Blue Sox have created for themselves. And now you're creating your own trouble with a team that will take advantage.
Dylan Abid takes the first pitch high. Ball 1. It's the check down to third base. Says Dylan Abid did not go around. So it's 1-0 with Box at second base. Rodriguez at first after being the courtesy runner for Ethan Swidler. 1-0 pitch. Misses inside off the glove of Quadras. Both runners are going to advance. The Blue Sox have 2 more in scoring position.
Right now is just an example of Derek Ball really not finding a consistent landing spot. That's why you're seeing him miss, you know, to his arm side and his glove side. When you're not able to establish a good landing zone, it makes it that much harder for your release point to get to a spot that you want it to be in order to be able to tunnel your pitches effectively.
Right side of the infield comes in. It's a foul ball to the right side. Bounces right off the Rush dugout. Santiago Duarte is about 2 or 3 steps in from his usual position. Dawson's maybe a step to a step and a half in. Dylan Abid, who's 1 for 1 with a single, scored back in the first at the plate. Boxa on third. Rodriguez at second. The 2-1 pitch fouled off. It was a pitch out of the zone, but in Abid's first at bat, it was a fastball off the outer part of the plate, and he lined into left field for a base hit.
Some guys are so confident with their swings that maybe pitches that might look like they're out of the zone, you trust your hands enough because if you see fastball, you understand that all you have to do is get on top of it in order to drive it with some authority, which Abid has done throughout the course of this season.
Abid hitting .372 coming into this game. The 2-2 pitch misses just above the zone. Another full count for the Blue Sox.
I wish I could say that leaving a base open right now and intentionally walking Abid would be on the table. But you have Bodie Grieve waiting in the on-deck circle. If you're Derek Ball, this is the guy that you want to go after, and this is why this team is so tough to beat because you have guys 1 through 9 that can really drive the ball.
Full count pitch. Misses high, ball 4. The bases are loaded again for the Blue Sox.
Daniel Quadras taking a little extra time to relax Derek Ball because there's nobody warming right now in the Rush bullpen. Derek Ball has to understand that it's his inning to get out of, and he's set these runners up, and he's going to have to be the one to erase them if the Rush want to win this game.
Bodie Grieve on the first pitch swing. Foul territory. Dawson giving it a look. Out of play into the first row of bleachers here at Palm Springs Stadium. That would have been a huge out for Derek Ball.
Well, to one of the most feared guys in the, not only in this Blue Sox lineup, but really in the entire PSCL. Bodie Grieve has had such a good summer, batting 300 plus, has shown a knack for driving runners in. He's one of the leading RBI men on this team. And so you have to be okay with him swinging first pitch there because he has done so much good for the Blue Sox throughout the course of the season.
3 doubles, a triple, 2 home runs, and 13 runs batted in. The 0-1 pitch taken at the knees, strike 2. Really strong fastball from Derek Ball.
And I know the command hasn't been pinpoint right now for Ball, but you cannot give Grieve really anything to handle 0-2. You have a couple of pitches to work with. You have to allow himself maybe to get himself out and not allow him to get his barrel in anything on these next 2 pitches.
0-2 pitch with the bases loaded. Right back at Ball. He'll go home for 1. On the first, double play. A huge 1, 2, 3 double play. And just like that, Derek Ball escapes trouble with the bases loaded in the second. The Blue Sox still lead at 4-0. But we head to the top of the third. You're watching the PSCL Championship broadcast on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
2 locations with something for everyone. Stuffed Pizza Bar and Grill.
Building your business is no small undertaking, and you need the right team by your side. Whether you're just getting started or expanding nationwide, Pacific Premier Bank is here to support your business every step of the way. As your trusted banking partner, we can help guide you down the right path with customized solutions designed for your business. We'll help you achieve the success you deserve. Pacific Premier Bank. Let's build your future together.
First up for the Rush in the top of the third, it's Daniel Quadras facing Trevor Morgan. But what a double play turned by the pitcher Derek Ball to get out of the bottom of the second, EJ.
You create your own traffic, and people are going to be okay with it. They may not be happy about how they got there, but they're going to be okay with it if you can get yourself out. And he was able to call his own number and turn the double play that he likes, and you have to give a lot of credit to Derek Ball. It is so easy to fold in that situation and be okay with giving up a couple of runs, and I'm sure that's where he was. But you're able to induce a weak ground ball right back to you, and you have to let this ignite you if you're the Rush. You make a couple of huge plays defensively, one behind the plate on the caught stealing by Daniel Quadras, a double play to erase a bases-loaded situation. That has to resonate with the rest of this lineup as they're about to go through for the second time, that there is still plenty of time left in this game, but the offense just has to start stringing things together and maybe take a page out of the Blue Sox book of being okay with taking your walks and not allowing yourself to expand the zone.
Daniel Quadras, the catcher, is finally ready to step in. Looked like Bodie Grieve just didn't quite have his glove up in left field after making the last out of the second. But Trevor Morgan has looked really solid so far in this game. He's gone 2 innings, has allowed just 1 hit. First ball swinging, fly ball center field. Anthony Cepeda is under it. He's going to make the catch about waist high. So 1 pitch, 1 out. And so far through 2 1/3, Trevor Morgan has faced the Rush lineup 1 time through.
He's just forcing a lot of action for his defense, and this is a defense that's been equal to the task throughout the season. You've generated 4 flyouts now, 2 strikeouts, and 1 ground ball. He's spread it around. He hasn't been overly dominant with strikeout stuff, but he's been forcing barrels to move, and that's where you're going to have your success as a pitcher.
Hunter Anderson takes the first pitch, low ball 1. At the top of the order for the Rush, he popped out to the first baseman for the Blue Sox, David Orozco, his first time up. 1 ball, no strikes. First pitch, second pitch into Anderson. Catches the outside corner, strike 1. Strong fastball at 81. Talking to Anderson earlier, he mentioned it's not all about the power and that he's adjusted to play this summer. Just put the ball in play, and it's certainly paid dividends. The next pitch just misses inside on the curveball.
You have to give kudos to Hunter Anderson because it's so easy. I mean, you get grief from the guys about not having, as much pop, but he's completely fine.
With a line drive into right field. That's going to get down. Hunter Anderson's on first base. 1 out single by the leader of the PSCL in average.
It's exactly what I just talked about. He's completely okay with just going gap to gap and using that approach to allow himself to be a good table setter for this Rush team. He's done it time and time throughout the season. Now he's able to flip the lineup for his team, and his team really needs to get going on the bat racks. And again, it doesn't have to be a 4-run inning, but if you're able to start chipping away, that's where you start to have a more of a renowned sense of, pride and some focus going to your team in the 3rd inning.
Santiago Duarte takes the first pitch well off the outside part of the plate, strike 1. That is a really tough call. That was a curveball at 73. It was 2 balls off the plate. The next pitch in from Morgan, that misses high, just above the zone on the fastball. So it's 1-1 with 1 out. Hunter Anderson just off first base by a step to a step and a half. Is a stolen base threat with 7 stolen bases. 3 times he's been caught stealing. 1-1 is fouled off down the first base line. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Chasing 4 runs is going to be a tough spot to run in for Zach Novus. I understand that Zach is as aggressive as they come when it comes to forcing action, but There comes a certain time in a game, and we're approaching it, where you have to trust your hitters to string things together without having to push things on the base paths.
1-2 pitch is in the dirt. Swidler got a piece of it to keep it in front of him. And the count moves even at 2-2. Another curveball, which Trevor Morgan has really been relying on. It's been fastball, curveball, and then just a handful of sliders. That's been it. Out of the stretch, Morgan takes a look at Anderson. Fires the 2-2 haul. Misses outside. Fastball ramps it up to 83, but it misses well out.
Now in this spot, when it's a 3-ball count, if you're Duarte, you have a guy at the plate who can handle the bat, and now you get the protection of a possible swing, and if not, you're advancing to second anyway. So this is where you could see some action.
2-2 pitch. Fly ball right field. Anthony Mathiasen going over into foul territory. It's going to be out of play. Just to the right of the Rush bullpen down the right field line. Stays 2-2 on Santiago Duarte. Rush kneeing in the top of the lineup to start a rally. Count's actually a full count. Pitches. Anderson takes off. Hit through the right side. Base hit. Anderson's going to make the turn. He's going to be easily into third standing up. Anderson in motion opens up the right side of the infield for Santiago Duarte, who just punches it through the right side at 91 off the bat.
As I mentioned, Adam, it's a good spot to run because you're protected by the likely swing. Duarte handles the bat just enough to where he can get enough of a pitch that's decently located on the outside portion of the strike zone. He's able to get a barrel to it, and now you have something cooking if you're the Rush, and you have one of your best RBI men stepping to the plate in Caden Dawson.
Caden Dawson now up with runners on the corners with one out. Looking to get the Rush on the board. Just 90 feet away is Hunter Anderson. Santiago Duarte's at first with one out. First pitch into Dawson. Gets a piece of it and fouls it back.
If you're Trevor Morgan right now, you do have a very accomplished hitter, but also a guy that will strike out at the plate. So I'm interested to see how him and Swidler attack this at-bat against a guy that will wave and miss on quality pitches.
The 0-1 pitch is fouled off, and Dawson is quickly behind 0-2. You mentioned the strikeout numbers. Picked up his 4th walk of the year, his first time up, but has 13 strikeouts. Morgan looking for a strikeout or a ground ball double play to get out of the inning. Duarte's at first base after he singled. Anderson's at third base after he started the rally. The 0-2 pitch to Dawson. Catches the outside corner, strike 3, back peek at third, they got him! Oh, what a double play! A strike from Swidler behind the plate! What a defensive play from Ethan Swidler after the strike. Just caught the outside corner, held it enough to hold it for home plate umpire William Macareno. A back pick at third, caught Anderson too far off the bag. We head to the bottom of the third. Unconventional 2-5 double play after the strikeout. Strike him out, throw him out. We head to the bottom of the third. 4-0 Blue Sox. You're watching the PSCL Championship broadcast on the PSCL Broadcast Network. back here for the PSCL championship between the Blue Sox and the Rush. 4-0 Blue Sox after a terrific strikeout on the corner from Trevor Morgan, and then Ethan Swidler nabs Anderson at third base.
The art of the back pick is so lost at this point, and being a former collegiate catcher myself, when I see guys like that hunting outs, it's not looking, it is actively searching to get your pitchers out of innings. It's so fun to watch, and Swidler did it to finish off the ball game yesterday as this pitch rides high and inside for the first ball. Adam, this is just a part of Swidler's profile as a catcher, and it's really the prototypical profile. You have a guy that can hit for some power, but at the end of the day is going to control the base pass, not only today, but he's done it throughout the course of the season.
Here comes the 1-0 pitch. It misses high to Fred Ramos. It's 2-0. You said hunted. Ethan Swidler was thinking Hunter was hunted down at third base. Fred Ramos up in the count. 2 balls, no strikes. The 2-0 pitch. It's in for a strike. Big fastball from Derek Ball.
You're not the pride of Indiana for no reason, are you, Adam?
Some may say that. I appreciate the compliment, though, EJ. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Catches the outside corner, strike 2. But that's a big play in this game because that was the Rush's first scoring opportunity in the top of the third. You don't get a ton of them. Of course, we are playing 9 innings today. But still, that's a huge defensive play for the Blue Sox and catcher Ethan Swidler. There's a reason why he was an all-star. Line down the first base line and foul by Fred Ramos. Got a lot of that pitch down in the zone. Came off his bat at 93, but it stays at 2 strikes.
He's just able to drop his barrel to it into a bullpen where Joseph Cook is now starting to warm. And I think Zach Novus' thought process here, Adam, is he's okay with ball getting out of the inning, but he understands that 3 walks in an inning aren't going to be sustainable.
2-2 pitch is chopped foul slowly into the Rush dugout. Or rather, right in front of the Rush dugout. Here at the stadium, all these teams in the PSCL the entire year have been sitting outside the dugout. They've not been hanging over the railings. They've instead been on the field, practically. The 2-2 pitch misses well inside. It's 3-2.
Another example of Ball not being able to find his landing spot. Every single time he pulls a pitch that dramatically inside, he immediately starts to dig at the front of that mound. You can tell he's not comfortable right now. And when a pitcher's not comfortable getting to a certain landing spot, I mentioned it earlier, it just makes it a lot tougher for them to be consistent with their mechanics.
Here comes the full count pitch. Hit into left field. Fly ball. Anderson moves back. Will make the catch reaching above his head. Didn't look extremely comfortable on that, but it's out number 1 on the fly out to left field.
It can't be over or understated the fact that Ball's able to get the first out of the inning. In both innings for the Blue Sox, they have led off with singles, and immediately puts your defense on their heels. The fact that he's able to retire the first one and actually stay in the windup and maybe try to establish some sort of rhythm that could lead him to having some success further down in later innings.
David Orozco takes the first pitch for a strike. A frisbee slider from Derek Ball on Orozco, who in the first had an RBI sacrifice fly to center field. Bases are empty now with 1 out in the bottom of the third. That pitch misses low. On the fastball from Ball, it's 1-1. 4-0 Blue Sox, bottom of the third. Adam Oppenheim alongside EJ Sanchez. Glad you could join us. That ball is into left center field. Anderson on the run. He's going to make the catch as it just held up enough, and David Orozco is retired. And it's back-to-back fly balls to the left fielder Anderson for 2 outs here in the bottom of the third.
Good things happen when you are competitive in the strike zone, Adam. Derek created his own traffic last inning with 3 walks, and this time against still a tough Blue Sox lineup that's going to get their hits, he's forcing the barrels to move and allow them to get themselves out. Hitting is hard enough as it is, and if Ball trusts his stuff enough, this is a recipe for success.
First pitch to Michael Gonzalez. Catches the inside corner, strike 1. Looking for the first clean inning of the game for the Rush. The first inning was really messy. The second inning he's worked his way out of. An off-speed pitch that misses below the zone. It's 1-1. That pitch looked Honestly, pretty good from up here, but that was well low. Quadras did just a great job framing it. The 1-1 pitch, that surely misses low. Michael Gonzalez gave Quadras a little look there as he pulled it up right to the middle of the plate.
And I think that's just a little fun between him and Daniel. Michael has been one of the characters around the building over the last week plus since he's joined also the Palm Springs Power, doing double duty. He's been a fun guy to talk to and for us to get to know.
The 2-1 pitch is sent into left field. Hunter Anderson on the run will dive. He can't make the catch. It's behind him as it rolls to the warning track. Gonzalez on second base. He will stop there. A 2-out double by Michael Gonzalez as Anderson laid out and just couldn't come up with the ball.
The reason why this is such a tough play is because Hunter Anderson is playing Michael more towards the left center field gap. That's where most of his hits have come from. But Anderson does a heck of a job just to range over and give himself a chance on this play. And usually this is a no-no, really, to dive into the corner because there's no backup behind you. But this ball isn't hit all too hard, and Anderson understands that and realizes if he's not able to make the catch, it's not going to roll that much further behind him. So a good baseball IQ play to make sure that that ball wasn't going to roll, because if so, Gonzalez might be on third or even worse.
Anthony Cepeda steps in with 2 outs. First pitch is taken outside. Ball 1. So after back-to-back flyouts to left field by Ramos and Orozco to Anderson. Anderson tries to cap off the inning all by himself. Just comes up empty on a Superman dive in left field. Runner on second, Gonzalez after the double. The 1-0 pitch misses in the dirt. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Two and 0 on Cepeda. Here comes the 2-0 pitch from Ball. Sliced down the left field line, but foul into those deep bleachers in left field. Usually we don't see a ton of people sit in those because they're directly in the sun, EJ.
Everybody's bringing on their own umbrellas and want to be underneath the misters that we have at Palm Springs Stadium that we've done really such a good job of utilizing, and you're seeing a little more of a crowd than we've seen for a couple of these PSCL games, showing out for the championship game. 2-1
on Anthony Cepeda. Ball will step off. It's really our entire crew, grounds crew here, every day for the PSCL and the Palm Springs Power games at night. So much of the crew that doesn't get airtime, but we appreciate all their hard work. The 2-1 pitch is on the outside corner. Strike 2. It's 2-2.
You go through a whole summer of what we've been doing, Adam. You get a renewed sense of appreciation for the people that make it happen behind the scenes, not only our baseball operations crew, but also our marketing crew that really has put on an impressive summer, and we hope that the fans at home that have been able to watch us understand that it takes a lot bigger team than just us.
A 2-2 pitch, fly ball down the left field line. Anderson will watch it go foul. And also Ethan Gamolka up here in the studio. Every single game here at Palm Springs Stadium doing the track man, giving us all the stats, making us sound extremely intelligent.
People think that we can calculate spin rate from up here, Adam. I thank them, but Ethan does have a good amount to do with it.
Every game, he is the track man guy. Mr. Trackman, some may call him. The 2-2 pitch is fouled off to the left side. 2-2 with 2 outs. Bottom of the third. 4-0 Blue Sox. They scored all 4 in the first inning on 4 hits, 2 walks, and that include a sacrifice fly as well. Count still even on Anthony Cepeda. RBI single back in the first was part of that giant first inning. The 2-2 pitch just misses inside. Ball 3. The Rush fans wanting that to be a strike. Just missed a smidge inside.
You know, they might have a case. It's one of those 50-50 calls that later in the game we could see that exact same pitch called a strike. But William Macareno has been pretty consistent so far today. So to give him the benefit of the doubt, I think we'd be in the right to do so.
Payoff pitch with 2 outs. Here it comes. Misses outside, ball 4. The Blue Sox still in business in the third. And the Rush have not had many easy innings against this Blue Sox lineup.
Well, you're not going to have many easy innings. Everybody that has been in the path of the Blue Sox, not only in the playoffs, but in the regular season, has found that out. But now you have a chance to flip the lineup if you're Reed Santos with your 9-hole hitter Mathiasen, who singled his last time up.
Derek Ball already has 4 walks in an inning and 2/3, and now it's 6 for the game for the Rush, giving the Blue Sox a lot of free passes. Hanging slider, and it's lined into left field where Anderson is there to make the catch. Boy, did Derek Ball get away with that pitch. That was right in the middle of the zone. Hit hard on a line by Mathiasen, but it's the 3rd out of the inning. All 3 outs to Hunter Anderson in left field. We head to the middle innings, top of the 4th. Blue Sox lead the Rush 4-0 in the PSCL championship game. You're watching PSCL Baseball on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
Back for the top of the 4th here on the PSCL Broadcast Network, bringing you the PSCL Championship between the Blue Sox and the Rush. EJ Sanchez taking over for the middle innings as Adam Oppenheim took you through the first 3 oh so eloquently. He'll be back for the 6th through the 9th. Also joining me up here, 4-0 lead for the Blue Sox as we head into this top of the 4th. Leading off will be Colin McCormick. He'll be followed by Nathan Cunningham and Sky Palmer. No runs on 3 hits for the Rush as first pitch swinging is McCormick, who sends it back to the screen 0-1.
And this is the time for the Rush to make a move. They've held the Blue Sox scoreless the past 2 innings, but they got to get on the board here quickly.
McCormick batting .380 this season, takes a pitch inside corner for a strike, and it's quickly 0-2. Trevor Morgan has dodged a couple of innings of traffic, and namely last inning where his catcher Ethan Swidler bailed him out of a jam. 0-2 pitch in the dirt, blocked by Swidler. A strike him out, throw him out with runners on 1st and 3rd. Hunter Anderson is back picked at 3rd, and it erases what was the best scoring chance for the Rush so far today. Morgan set at the belt from the first base side of the rubber. The 1-2 is swung on and fouled back to the first base side. It'll reach the park behind us. The count will stay at 1-2. The defense remains for the Blue Sox. Bodie Grieve, Anthony Cepeda, and Anthony Mathiasen from left to right in the outfield. I'll tell you the infield after the 1-2 pitch. This is a little high for William Macareno's liking. It's 2-2. Fred Ramos, Michael Gonzalez, Javen Boxa, and David Orozco from left to right in the infield. And Swidler continues to be the catcher for this Blue Sox team. Even at 2-2. Swung on and fouled back into the shin guard of Swidler. And McCormick's able to stay alive. McCormick flew out to center in the 1st. Trevor Morgan with 3 strikeouts to his name today. After has to follow a great start from Leo Terramino yesterday. The 2-2 is fouled into the visitors' dugout. Look out, everybody, as it rolls back to home plate. We'll do it again at 2-2.
And Trevor Morgan has really only gone deep into 1 game, and that was the last game he pitched against the Lumberjacks, where he went 6 innings. Before that, he only went 3 1/3 was his season high.
2-2, floated down the first base side, and it'll reach the batting cages that we have on the visitor side. So locked into a battle now between Colin McCormick and Trevor Morgan.
Although Trevor Morgan has been extremely efficient with his pitches so far throughout the first 3 innings.
Morgan set from the third base side. This ball is sent into center field. It sends Cepeda back a couple of steps, but he puts it away in the middle of his chest to retire the first out of the top of the fourth. That'll send up Nathan Cunningham. So McCormick 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts to Cepeda. Cunningham stepping in, had a backwards K in the second inning. He does own a home run off of Trevor Morgan earlier this season. Again, these teams legitimately split a 3-game series throughout the season. His first pitch is high and inside, missed with the curveball, did Morgan. With blowout wins really for both teams, and then a 1-1 tie that couldn't be decided after 9 innings. The 1-0 pitch is well outside, and it's 2-0. Now 60 pitches for Trevor Morgan. Still no action in the Blue Sox bullpen, although the bullpen is ready to go. You have Jacob Glazner available as well as Tyler Nelson. 2-0 to the Rush third baseman. Lined into left center field to get down for a base hit. Chasing it into the alley is Bodie Grieve. He cuts it off. He's able to get it in. But Nathan Cunningham has his first hit of the day, the 4th hit of the game for the Rush, and they have a base runner on with 1 out, and Sky Palmer stepping in.
Nathan Cunningham is just so strong at the bottom of the zone. He gets a fastball and just rifles it into left center field. Great swing off the bat at 98, EJ.
That's what happens when you're ahead in the count. And Morgan gave him a pitch to hit, and he did not miss it. Sky Palmer singled his last time up in the second inning. He was later stranded, batting .395 this season. They'll check on Cunningham at first, who's back standing. And Bubba Thompson warming, also in the bullpen for the Rush. Could be the end of the line for Derek Ball after 2 innings. Though exciting, gave up 0 runs to go with his 4 walks. This pitch is lined to the right side. It'll sneak through for a base hit. Nathan Cunningham will have to advance to third after the ball's bobbled into the outfield. The play at second, they got him. Sky Palmer sees the bobble in right field from Anthony Mathiasen, decides to take off, but Mathiasen stays with it long enough to deliver a strike to second base, and there's 2 outs with a man on third. It'll be left up to Alan Serna.
And that's a play you just can't make if you're Sky Palmer. Nathan Cunningham was easily able to advance to third because it was in right center field. That's a far ways away from third base. If you're Sky Palmer, you see the ball loose. You got to make sure you're going to be safe, especially when you have a rally going. The ball was right near Mathiasen. He couldn't find it for a moment, but when he picked it up, he's so close to throwing for second base, and he throws him out.
I couldn't agree more. It's really tough to make that second out at second. Serna, first pitch swinging, sends it into the screen down the third base side, quickly 0-1. Shorter depth in right field from Mathiasen, playing a mid to deep left and center field is Cepeda and Grieve. 0-1, still out of the stretch. Morgan delivers. Breaking ball misses inside. Swidler holding on just for a couple of extra seconds. Now he's having a slight conversation with William Macareno. It's 1-1. Serna with the all-white helmet to match the baby blue jerseys for the Rush. With the yellow batting gloves. Lines this one down the third base line. It's tailing and it'll get out of play. 4-0 Blue Sox lead. Top of 4. The Rush trying to chip away at this lead. Or at this deficit, I should say. 4 runs coming home in the first inning for the Blue Sox. They've held on to it ever since. 1-2. Lined into center field. Coming on is Cepeda, who will range over to his right. Make a slight jogging catch. And the Rush are done in their half of the 4th inning. No runs come across off of a couple of hits. There's a man stranded. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. Blue Sox lead the Rush 4-0 on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
There's something winning in the agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Hey, Power Baseball fans. Looking to hit a home run against pests in your home? Rudy's Pest Control is your winning choice. Rudy's Flex 80/90 Pest Control Plan offers effective and affordable protection with just 5 visits a year instead of the usual 12, so you'll have more time to do what you love. Visit rudyspest.com or call 760-746-PEST and declare, heck no, 12's gotta go. Rudy's Pest Control is your home run choice, so get started today.
Think of the highest quality you can imagine. Now, think higher.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $29.99. At Palm Springs' most popular restaurant, there's always a party at Lulu.
Bottom of the fourth, new pitcher on the mound for the Rush in the form of Joseph Cook, the 5'11", 205-pound sophomore out of College of the Desert, being coached by Reed Santos and Sam DiMatteo and a multitude of other coaches around the PSCL. Cook comes in, pitching to a tune of a 9.35 ERA. He's given up 18 earned runs and 17 in a third innings. He's also walked 13 guys, so Zach Novus hoping for the best outing of the season out of his sophomore pitcher. He relieves Derek Ball, who was able to give 2 innings of relief out of the bullpen. And I'm interested to see, Adam, how they piece this together the rest of the way.
Ball did a good job. He was just like the glue in that situation. It was falling apart for the Rush, but he throws 2 scoreless innings.
First pitch to Javen Boxa is inside, ball 1. Boxa getting his 3rd at-bat in 4 innings. He singled and scored in the first, walked in the second. Cook's 1-0. Check swing high and inside. They send it down to Ben Sontag at first, who says he did not go around, so it's quickly 2-0.
That's a tough one if you're Cook. That's right at the top of the zone. Firmly in it.
Boxa also standing in at 5'7", probably helps his case a little bit more. Breaking ball lands on the outside corner, and it's 2-1.
And you mentioned that. There's a low pitch call for a strike.
William Macarino certainly catering the strike zone to the La Quinta High School product, Javen Boxa. The 2-1 pitch is still a little bit low, and it's 3-1 now to Boxa.
And Joseph Cook, for his repertoire, has a 4-seam fastball, 2-seam fastball, cutter, and a circle change.
Most likely going to the fastball here behind. 3-1. His pitch. Swung on and missed. Foul tip into the glove of Daniel Quadras, and the count will run full. Ethan Swidler waits on deck. He's 0 for 1. Cook stays in the stretch, slightly open, delivers his 3-2. It's fouled down the third base line into the home dugout, and we'll do it again at 3-2.
It's all about throwing strikes if you're the Rush. You already have 6 walks for the Blue Sox, and the hits there's only a difference of 1, but it's the walks.
Cook set, another 3-2. Cold strike 3 inside corner. Joseph Cook comes in and is able to punch out Javen Boxa, who had yet to be retired today. He has 1 out in his home of the 4th. And, Adam, how big is that to go against a Blue Sox team that has consistently gotten the leadoff man on?
It's huge. And also the first strikeout of the game for the Rush pitching staff.
So now Ethan Swidler will take his turn, first time facing Cook. His first pitch is a called strike outside corner on the slider from Cook. Cook's leading with the slider right now instead of the fastball. Seems to have a much better feel for it. His 0-1 in the dirt. And they'll roll back to the screen. Quadras will ask for a new baseball. The count's even at 1-1. Alec Bautista is flanking Sky Palmer in right field. Hunter Anderson playing left. Nathan Cunningham, Colin McCormick manning the left side of the infield. Santiago Duarte and Caden Dawson on the right side with the aforementioned Daniel Quadras behind the plate, who has tried to match Swidler in terms of throwing runners out. He is 1 for 1 today. He was able to cut down a runner in the second inning. 1-1. Skied behind home plate. This will get out of play. It'll land about 8 to 10 rows up. Just in front of us, Adam, and the count will be 1-2.
That ball seemed like it was in the air forever off the bat of Swidler. But Joseph Cook so far throwing a lot of strikes.
He was able to punch out Boxa a couple of moments ago. Cook facing his second batter in the bottom of the fourth. 1-2. Swung on and drilled into center field, sending Sky Palmer back, who's able to settle in. And a few steps in front of the warning trap, put away the grab. And there's 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth.
And it seemed like Swidler hit that ball off, the inside part of his bat. He got jammed and still hit it 92 off the bat and 341. But that has no chance here at the stadium to get anywhere close to out or over the head of Sky Palmer.
Adam, I promise you, if I could hit a ball 92 miles an hour in on my hands, I would be playing my 5th year right now. Regardless, Cook is going to deliver his first pitch to Dylan Abid. This pitch is in the dirt, ball 1. Abid singled and scored in the first, walked in the second.
And for Joseph Cook, looking at his stats this summer, he's had a little bit of a walk issue in 17 1/3, 13 walks, and just 6 strikeouts.
Abid recorded his first hit against the Rush in the first inning. His second pitch also misses. It's 2-0 to him. Out of Consumnes River College and Wilton, California. 16 hits this season, contributing to a Blue Sox team that has hit above 300 as a team. The 2-0 to him. Line down the third base line. It's foul. Oh, boy, maybe another 1.5 feet to the right, and that was for sure extra bases for Dylan Abid.
Seems like Dylan Abid is just looking for that pitch, like half a ball to a ball off the plate to try to shoot it the other way. He is so comfortable working to the opposite field, and you don't see that a lot with these young collegiate players.
A refined approach beyond his years. The 2-1 pitch is floated on the outside portion of the plate, a called strike, and it's 2-2. Deuce is wild. 2 outs, bottom of 4. Joseph Cook looking for the first clean inning for the Rush. This ball is swung on, and it won't happen now. This drops into left field for a base hit. Dylan Abid is 2 for 2 as he takes a hard round across first. He'll retreat back. And he has been tough to handle. He's reached all 3 times. He gives Bodie Grieve a chance here with 2 outs in the fourth.
You mentioned it, EJ. Dylan Abid's approach is beyond his years. I mean, just an unbelievable swing. It seems simple in the moment, but watch a game of college baseball. How many players can just consistently hit to the opposite field trying to do it, just timing up the pitcher?
Bodie Grieve steps in for his third at-bat. The left fielder swings on this one and drives it down left field. It's hooking towards the line. Foul. Home run distance for sure off the bat at 99 miles an hour. But Joseph Cook will tell you it's a long strike. It's 0-1 to Bodie Grieve.
That ball was absolutely clobbered. It was a fastball that was left up in the zone. Bodie Grieve loves the ball high.
0-1. Another big swing. This time he comes up empty and into the glove of Quadras it goes, and it's 0-2.
And that time Joseph Cook did not let Grieve extend his hands, which is why he hammered the foul ball. That time he was tied up inside.
Abid leads off of first. 0-2 to Grieve. Outside, Quadras pump fakes, thought about throwing down. He'll just tuck it away. Bodie Grieve needs to look no further than his own family to understand what next-level success is all about. His mother went to college at UC Santa Barbara, and his father played in Major League Baseball for 9 seasons. The 1-2 pitch to Grieve is tapped towards the second baseman Duarte, who will field it on a couple of hops, throw on to first, and that will retire the side. So a 2-out hit from Dylan Abid does not come back to bite Joseph Cook. He has a clean inning, and we'll go to the 5th. The Blue Sox leading the Rush 4-0 in the PSCL championship game on the PSCL Broadcasting Network.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, cow, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Outdoor living in the Coachella Valley is spectacular, and Tessera is the premier builder of outdoor living spaces in the desert. Nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta. For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
Desert Air started right here in the Coachella Valley in 1954, and we've been welcoming customers to our family ever since. With nearly 70 years of proven trust, dependability, and experience, we've got the AC and heating expertise to help you all year round. Plus, our factory-trained technicians provide well-informed maintenance, repairs, and installation, so you get our industry-best products with industry-best service. Contact our family at Desert Air. We'll make sure you live comfortably, always.
Welcome back to the PSCL championship game between the Blue Sox and the Rush. The Rush will take their turn in the top of the fifth, and leading off will be the right fielder Alex Bautista. He'll be followed by the catcher Daniel Quadras. Hunter Anderson is scheduled to bat third. Before anything else, though, Adam, we remind everyone to please go follow the PSCL on all social medias. There will be post-game coverage from you and myself. Get you more about that after this first pitch. This first pitch lands inside corner, and it's 0-1 to Bautista. Power Summer Collegiate League on Facebook, on Instagram, PSCL Baseball 24. We'll be catching up with the winning team, our winner of the game, or player of the game, I should say. And just some reactions from a great PSCL game and a PSCL season. Second pitch also misses outside.
And let us know in the chat, where are you watching from?
Absolutely. We've had Christine Hawking checking in throughout the game. Alex's mom, who has been the all-star pitcher for the Blue Sox. This pitch misses inside. It's 2-1. Dominique Johnson also saying go Rush, and Sylvia Ramirez. So plenty of places to listen in from. Let us know, whether it be here in California on the West Coast, anywhere else across the United States, or wherever you may be listening. The 2-1 pitch is low and outside. 3-1 to Bautista. Adam, the Rush have yet to have a leadoff man on as we sit in the top of the fifth. Bautista trying to become the first. The 3-1 pitch. Check swing. Called anyway. It's 3-2.
And that's a pitch on 3-1 that you're not swinging at if you're Alec Bautista. That is not a pitch you can do a whole lot with. It was just a great pitch by Trevor Morgan. He's had a lot of them. It has been the best start of his summer so far.
Payoff pitch. Bautista takes it outside, and Morgan not happy with himself as he kicks a little dirt on the first base side. Alex Bautista will truck down to first with the first leadoff base runner. It'll send up Daniel Quadras, who flew out in the third.
Huge leadoff runner aboard. You mentioned it, EJ. Getting the leadoff runner on is so big. You make stuff happen on the bases. And right now, the Rush have had opportunities the past couple innings to get on the scoreboard. They got to start soon. Of course, we are playing 9 innings once again here today.
Quadras has had a good game behind the plate defensively, looking to come through with his bat. First pitch to him from Morgan. Inside, ball 1. Throughout this season, Quadras and a couple of the other catchers have really demonstrated an ability to be productive with both sides of their game. And that's really the separator when it comes to catchers at the collegiate level. They'll check on Bautista at first, who's back with a dive and plenty of time. Quadras batting .275 this season. He broke the tie in the middle part of the game yesterday with a 2 RBI base hit. 1-0 pitch taken, and it's called strike outside corner. It's 1-1. Quadras out of Linwood, California. The 1-1 pitch to him. Outside and a little bit high, and he gets ahead 2-1.
And the Quadras had that huge 2 RBI single. You mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, EJ. That Rush A's game was extremely close. The final score doesn't indicate it.
2-1 pitch to Quadras. Swung on and comes up empty. It's 2-2. Morgan hunting a strikeout. He has 3 today. Starting to get a couple of men moving near the bullpen of the Blue Sox. Probably about as much length as they could have asked for from Morgan today. 2-2 pitch to Quadras. Upstairs, it'll go full. You had a little bit of a bluff off of first from Bautista. With a 3-2 count, does Zach Novus put a man in motion with Ethan Swidler behind the plate?
Don't think you can risk another out on the base pass. At least at this point, I think Ethan Swidler probably has the best arm in the PSCL.
Both teams starting to get into it a little bit more. You're hearing a little more backing from both dugouts. Payoff pitch to Quadras. Skied into the air in left center field. It sends Grieve back, and he'll catch it over his shoulder as he backs up, nearly tumbles over. But he puts it away for the first out, and a huge first out for Trevor Morgan.
Bodie Grieve almost lost his footing on left center field. Started backpedaling and then nearly tripped over his own feet, but that's not an easy catch. He had a long way to go.
It seemed like his first couple of steps were in, and then realized that ball was hit with a decent amount of backspin as he retreated back. 1 out, top of the 5th. Hunter Anderson, the leadoff man, steps in. He singled his last time up in the 3rd. Was later caught stealing, or backpicked, I should say, by Swidler to end the inning. They'll check on Bautista again. He's back with a dive. Anderson, our pregame interview guest. You get the sense that Anderson is really a guy that rain, shine, morning, night, a guy that just enjoys being on the baseball field. He takes his first pitch, and it's a slider that drops into the zone for a called strike 1.
And his approach just doesn't change. That's why he's hitting so well this year. Doesn't swing at pitches outside the zone. Pitches in the zone, he hits hard.
You know, I had a conversation with Michael Gonzalez yesterday about Anderson, and really it's a lot of these guys are dumbfounded. He just always puts himself in a position to succeed. This pitch is in the dirt, squirts away from Swidler. He's able to corral it down the third base line before Bautista can get a read. So Bautista will stay at first. A good job of jumping on that ball before it got any further from Swidler. But everybody just looks around when Hunter Anderson is stepping into the box because he's not going to send an outfielder back. He's not going to put on a show during BP. He's just always going to stay in the middle part of the field. They'll check on him again, back in plenty of time. And Tino Novus asking for a balk, and I think he's going to get it. Bautista will trot down to second. A balk is called on Trevor Morgan, and a free 90 feet for the rush.
I'm not sure Morgan even stepped off the mound. It looked like he just turned to throw, or maybe stepped off like while he was throwing, but I think that's an easy balk call.
I think Ben Sontag, the first base umpire, was the one to call it, and I think you're right, Adam. It looks like they got this one. 1 run would be huge for the Rush just to get back into this game. It's 1-1 to Hunter Anderson. Trevor Morgan from the third base side of the rubber kicks and deals. In the dirt, what a block by Swidler. And he'll go have a word with his pitcher after a fastball that never had a chance, but somehow Swidler's able to pin it against his chest protector, and it's 2-1 to the leadoff man.
It seemed like Morgan completely overthrew the fastball at 84, and it's easy to know, to block it, or at least easier than blocking a fastball when it's an off-speed pitch and it could go in the dirt. You're not expecting a fastball to be spiked like that, and that's just a ridiculous pick because you move Bautista over to third, and Anderson just puts a ball in the air to get the rush on the board.
Adam, you have just found out why I have turned over to the dark side and got into media instead of blocking spiked fastballs. It's a tough life for a catcher, and it's 2-1 to Hunter Anderson. He takes it down low, and he has worked the count to 3-1. Santiago Duarte waits on deck. He's 1 for 2. The Rush looking to get on the board. They trail 4-0 in the 5th. Anderson takes this one down at the knees, and it's 3-2.
And Anderson, so comfortable working in 2-strike counts, so if that's not a pitch he likes, just lets it go for a strike.
3-2 count to the leading hitter in the PSCL. He asks for time. It's granted. It might be a good thing. Alec Bautista was dancing off of second, and Michael Gonzalez was there looking for a potential back pick.
I mean, did Anderson see that developing and somehow call time? I'm not sure.
That would be next-level baseball IQ, and I would not put it past Hunter. 3-2 count. Sent down the first base line on a couple of hops as it rolls into the visitor's dugout. And we'll try it again at 3-2.
And that's the hardest pitch Morgan's thrown today, 85.
Hunter Anderson has shown a flair for the dramatic this season, and especially in the playoffs. He was the one to deliver the walk-off base hit to put an end to MLB DC China's season. Can he have another big hit? This one sent on a couple of hops to second. Boxa is up with it, delivers on to first, and there's 2 outs in the 5th. Ball was hit hard, but right at Boxa, who has been as solid defensively as middle infielders come in the PSCL this season. It'll be up to Duarte. His single came in the 3rd inning. Duarte has 5 doubles to go along with 13 RBIs this season. He's batting .500 in the playoffs, and yesterday was 3 for 4 with a pair of singles and a double. His first pitch is a breaking ball that drops into the zone to the lower quadrant of the strike zone, and it's 0-1.
Really good slider. The bottom of the zone.
86 pitches from Trevor Morgan. Could be approaching the end of the line for him. His fastball misses outside corner, maybe off by about 6 to 8 inches according to our track man, and it's 1-1. Duarte trying to get his team on the board. Morgan looking for his 5th scoreless inning. 1-1 pitch is just above the chest and the letters of the Rush donning the baby blue uniforms, and it's 2-1.
And that pitch has not been called the entire night. The pitch is at the top of the zone, so William Macarena consistent behind the plate.
Should he reach, Caden Dawson would be on deck. The 2-1 pitch is floated in and called strike 2. So the count has run even. There is activity in the Blue Sox bullpen. Jared Fong is starting to warm. Again, a 9-inning game rather than the usual 7 innings in the PSCL. So Fong looking to be the bridge to the eventual back-end relievers. 2-2 pitch. Hit on a couple of hops to third. A little bit of a bobble by Ramos. He throws across and gets him by a couple of steps. Fred Ramos able to hang with a tough hop at third. Trevor Morgan has gone through 5 innings of scoreless baseball on 5 hits. We'll go to the home half of the 5th with the Blue Sox still leading the Rush 4-0 in the PSCL Championship on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet? Discovering our history? Experiencing our scenic trails? Getting that perfect souvenir? Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at pstramway.com.
Family setting, you know, we come and we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented. You know, they cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything that you would want. So young and old, everybody can enjoy it.
It's the best.
Made from scratch memories. Elmer's.
We just got our best ever ratings from U.S. News and World Report. We're the #1 hospital in Riverside and San Bernardino counties. High performing in 17 common procedures from joint replacements to heart attack care. And for the first time, national ranking as high performing in 3 adult specialties. We're proud of these ratings, but what matters most, as always, is how we rate with you. Learn more at eisenhowerhealth.org/awards.
The Blue Sox have not scored since they put up 4 runs in the bottom of the first as they come to bat in the bottom of the 5th. EJ Sanchez alongside Adam Oppenheim bringing you through the middle innings of the PSCL Championship between the Rush and the Blue Sox. Fred Ramos' first pitch from Cook is in the dirt, ball 1. Fred Ramos had an RBI walk in that 4-run first inning, and he flew out to Hunter Anderson in the 3rd. Officially 0 for 1. The 1-0 pitch to him catches the outside corner. It's 1-1. Fred Ramos has not only played third base, he's played some first base this season for the Blue Sox. His 1-1 offering is outside, and he is in a hitter's count. It's 2-1. Fred Ramos batted .282 in his last season at Shabbat College out of Hayward, California. The 2-1 pitch is tapped up the middle, and it'll sneak through for a base hit. Fred Ramos is 1 for 2, and the leadoff man is on for the 4th time in 5 innings for the Blue Sox as they look to try to add some insurance run in their half of the 5th.
That ball didn't look like it was tagged by Ramos, but that was actually 95 off the bat, believe it or not.
And all the balls we're seeing flying across into the gaps that were hit hard, that one didn't get its due credit. My apologies to Fred. Instead of tapped, I should have said lined, but neither here nor there. This pitch is in on the hands of David Orozco, and it'll fall just in front of the visiting bullpen. He's behind 0-1. Orozco had an RBI sac fly in the first and also flew out to Hunter Anderson. Officially 0 for 1 with an RBI for the Blue Sox first baseman. Bubba Thompson continues to warm in the bullpen. This one is outside, being backpicked in the dirt by his catcher Quadras. 1-1. There's also another reliever warming, the left-hander, as we get some information as it becomes available for the rush. 1-1 pitch to Orozco, and this is also well outside. Cook has pulled his last 2 pitches. The palm trees painting the background of a beautiful day at Palm Springs Stadium, the last day of the PSCL. 2-1 pitch rides high, and it's 3-1. Adam, seems like just yesterday these guys were checking in, getting assigned to their teams, and a month later we found ourselves to the championship game. 3-1 pitch. Line down the third base line, it'll go foul. And under the glove of the protecting Garrett Sloan in the bullpen as he gets some grief from his teammates, and the count is 3-2. Joseph Cook in his second inning of work. He's set at the belt, checks once at the runner at first, and the 3-2 pitch misses inside. So Joseph Cook has allowed the first 2 to reach in the bottom of the 5th. Michael Gonzalez, who is 2 for 2, will step in against Cook.
And the Blue Sox know at any time the rush can strike in a hurry, so they're going to look to add on here in the 5th. This would be big insurance runs, although still in the middle portion of the game. But, I mean, they just scored all 4 of the runs in the first inning.
Michael Gonzalez with traffic on the base pass. First pitch well inside, and he has to duck out of the way. And Joseph Cook has seemed to have lost a little bit of the command with the fastball in his second inning. Gonzalez had the RBI single in the first and then doubled with 2 outs in the third. The LA Harbor College product sees the 1-0 pitch as there's a back pick to second base as it goes into center field. Quickly onto it is Sky Palmer to prevent any further advancement. And I thought Quadras was going to at least take a look as Fred Ramos was dancing off of second base with a couple of extra secondary leads, and Tino Novus is going to have a word with his pitcher, Joseph Cook. 4-0 Blue Sox, bottom of the 5th. The Blue Sox looking to add on runs. Fred Ramos on second, he singled. Orozco just walked. These teams legitimately split a 3-game series, and if you ask me how that's possible, Adam, they had each a blowout win to their name, and then they tied 1-1 in a 9-inning battle just about a little over a week ago, and they knew at that time it could end up being a matchup between them two in the championship. The Lumberjacks, also the thought-of favorite, eliminated yesterday, or a couple of days ago, I should say, in a loss against the A's. Peyton Von Canel was outstanding in that game, going the distance in that 7-inning game.
It's so funny that there's only been one tie in the PSCL season, and it was between the Rush and the Blue Sox. You know, the scriptwriters are going crazy right now, EJ.
As good of a script as you can ask for the Blue Sox and the Rush. Battling in the championship game, Michael Gonzalez trying to deliver a somewhat of a knockout blow in the 5th with his team leading by 4. The 2-0 pitch, squaring around a bunt. This is inside, and it's 3-0 now to Gonzalez. Anthony Cepeda, who's 1 for 1 with an RBI, is in the on-deck circle. The 3-0 pitch to Gonzalez. Catches the outside corner, 3-1. Michael in the long white pants with the black ankle shin guard gracing the left side of his leg, and the yellow sliding mitt that is yellow draping out of his back pocket. He might have to use it now. He becomes a base runner as he takes a 5-pitch walk. Michael Gonzalez trots down to first, still officially 2 for 2. He's reached all 3 times. And now dangerous situation for the Rush. The bases are loaded. Anthony Cepeda stepping in. The 6'3", 195-pound left-hander from Feather River College. Played in 44 games this last spring. Batting .370 this season. Among the leaders in RBIs. First pitch to him. Outer half, called strike from William Macareno, 0-1. The infield is brought to halfway depth. Dawson playing in front of Gonzalez at first, even with the bag at third, is Cunningham. 0-1. Sent into center field with a little bit of a drive. It's sending Sky Palmer back to the warning track. He'll put it away. All 3 runners will advance. And it's an RBI sac fly, the second RBI of the day for Anthony Cepeda, and it's 5-0 Blue Sox in the 5th.
Now, obviously, 2 runners were going to advance, but the big one is Michael Gonzalez to second. Santiago Duarte did not cover the bag. It was between him and Colin McCormick, and Gonzalez just got a free run to second base.
And I do think it would be a close play at second, but Gonzalez never got halfway, as you're taught to do in that situation. He knew that this was a situation where he can take advantage of a deep fly ball. Anthony Mathiasen, who singled in the second and lined out in the third, steps in with the infield brought all the way in. First pitch to him, misses low. The bullpen activity has stopped. I think this could be one of the last few hitters that Joseph Cook faces. 1-0. Blooped down the first base side. It'll get out of play near the trainer's tent. On the visitor's side, it's 1-1. First time the Blue Sox have scored since the first inning. They have 5 runs on 8 hits. Mathiasen has one of those 8 hits, who was later caught stealing to end the second inning. 1-1. Lined into center field again, sending Sky Palmer back deep enough to score the run. The throw will go to third. Gonzalez will not tag at second, but Orozco will score from third. 2 runs have come in the 5th on 2 sac flies. Anthony Mathiasen is 1 for 2 with an RBI. And now a 6-run cushion for the Blue Sox as they look to take this into the later innings.
Really good at-bats by Cepeda and Mathiasen. Not trying to do too much with it. You can tell, EJ. They're not trying to have the big swing to open it up. If they get a pitch that's over the middle of the play and they can drive and not get a run, why not? I mean, you already have a 4-0 lead. You're not playing from behind.
No, you're not. And so we'll have a new pitcher on the mound when we return. 6-0 Blue Sox over the Rush in the 5th inning. We'll be back to tell you more when we return on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
Think of the highest quality you can imagine. Now, think higher.
Outdoor in the Coachella Valley is spectacular, and Tessera is the premier builder of outdoor living spaces in the desert. Nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta. For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
Anthony Silas is the new pitcher after Joseph Cook works an inning in 2/3, giving up 2 runs. He is responsible for Michael Gonzalez on second base. Both of Silas's outings this season, coincidentally enough, Adam, have come one of them has come against the Blue Sox. First pitch, swinging, line drive, caught at third base by Fred Ramos. So we don't even get to debut his numbers. It's actually Nathan Cunningham making the catch. So that will do it in the 5th inning. The Blue Sox push across 2 runs. They have a 6-run lead heading into the 6th inning. We'll be right back on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Two locations with something for everyone. Stuffed Pizza Bar and Grill.
The top of the 6th in the PSCL championship game between the Blue Sox and the Rush. EJ Sanchez, Adam Oppenheim alongside you. We thank you for inviting us into your homes, your cars, or wherever you may be listening to the PSCL championship. Caden Dawson will lead things off for the Rush. He'll be followed by Colin McCormick and Nathan Cunningham. Dawson 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the 3rd. He walked in the 1st. The Rush trying to cut into a 6-run deficit. First pitch from Trevor Morgan as he begins his 6th inning of work is downstairs 1-0. Second pitch to Dawson is also low, 2-0. The activity has stopped in the bullpen for the Blue Sox as Jared Fong looks like he's ready to go out of the bullpen should Morgan run into any trouble. The 2-0, downstairs 3-0. You can tell that Morgan is starting to feel the amount of pitches that he has thrown today, and I think Reed Santos will be the first one to tell you this is as good as he could have expected for his pitcher coming out on championship today. The 3-0 pitch is outside, and if you can believe this, Adam, Caden Dawson has walked twice in the same game after only walking 3 times all season. Both have been 4-pitch walks. He trots down to first. Colin McCormick will step in. Reed Santos coming out to the mound to talk to Trevor Morgan.
Another big leadoff runner on for the Rush.
And Trevor Morgan is at 94 pitches as he's starting to get some fist bumps from his teammates. Reed Santos is going to let him go. In a 6-run game, Adam, you are afforded this luxury. This isn't a 1 or 2 run ball game where the tying run is on deck. No, you have a 6-run lead, and your pitcher has earned the right to at least know when his last batter could be. McCormick has flown out to Anthony Cepeda in center field twice, looking for his first hit and looking to get the Rush going in some sort of direction offensively. He squares around a bunt. The pitch is upstairs, and it's 1-0. The Blue Sox have taken advantage of a lot of free passes today. 4 of the 6 runs have come via the walk. When I mean that, it's how the base runners have got on. Big swing, 1-0, and the count is even as coming up empty was McCormick. Morgan set, third base side of the rubber. High leg kick, kicks and fires, fouled back to the screen, and it's 1-2. That's what you tell a pitching staff before really any series at the collegiate level, Adam, is you're okay with giving up the hits and you can live with it. It's the free passes in front that really drive a coach crazy. I know Zach Novus, that might be the first thing on his list when he asks why his team, at least at this point, is behind by 6 runs. They'll check on Dawson at first. He's back in standing. 1-2 pitch to the Rush shortstop. Taken down low, and he's evened the count at 2 apiece. Nathan Cunningham is on deck, 1 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a single in the 4th. Really, the scoring chances have been few and far between today for the Rush. The 2-2 pitch is outside. And he's come all the way back, and McCormick now has a 3-2 count. 6-0 Blue Sox, top of 6. Trevor Morgan working on his 6th inning. Jared Fong is ready to go in the Blue Sox bullpen. Payoff pitch. Skied in along the infield. Javen Boxa calling for it. Puts it away for the first down of the 6th inning. And Nathan Cunningham will step in. Caden Dawson remains at first. I mentioned in the opening, Adam, that these are 2 offenses that really can swing the bat, but it would come down to really pitching. And you look at it with 1 out in the 6th, the Blue Sox have stayed with their starter, and the Rush have used 4 different guys. First pitch swinging is Cunningham. He sends a high fly ball into right field. Anthony Mathiasen comes in and makes the catch above his head for the 2nd out.
And another difference between the Blue Sox and the Rush pitchers today is Morgan has been pumping a lot of strikes and been forcing the Rush to swing at some of these early pitches because he hasn't walked a ton of people. So they're more ready to swing at the plate or the Rush, and that can create those 1-pitch outs, and Morgan's had multiple of those.
Sky Palmer is 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. His first offering is outside and high.
That was pitch number 102 from Trevor Morgan.
Absolutely should be the last inning that we see Morgan. So look for him to reach back into the tank and finish off his day with a bang. The 1-0 pitch is outside, and now it's 2-0. Sylvia Ramirez, listening from Linwood, California, the hometown of Daniel Quadras. Once again, we appreciate everybody that's been tuning in throughout the broadcast. It's 2-0. And it's low and inside, 3-0. Be an interesting call for Reed Santos if this turns into a 4-pitch walk. Bob Hawking saying the Sox are looking good. Bob, we'd have to agree with you on that sentiment. 6 runs on 8 hits. Trevor Morgan's worked around 5 hits. His 3-0 pitch catches the lower quadrant of the plate just across the knees. 3-1 to the Rush center fielder. Should he reach Alan Cerna, who's 0 for 2, the designated hitter, he waits on deck. 3-1. Lined up the middle for a base hit. There will be runners on first and second. Sky Palmer, unfortunately for him, in a 6-0 losing effort right now, is 3 for 3. Alan Cerna will have the chance to cut into this lead, and Reed Santos will take no chances. He wants Cerna to face a new pitcher. We'll get you all the information on the new pitcher when we return, as Trevor Morgan's day will end at 5 2/3 innings pitched. He'll give up 6 hits. He's responsible for the man on first and second. We'll get you the rest of the details when we return on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, cow, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Outdoor living in the Coachella Valley is spectacular, and Tessera is the premier builder of outdoor living spaces in the desert. Nobody does it better than Tessera. From one end of this valley to the other, from Palm Springs to Rancho Mirage, Palm Desert, to Indio and La Quinta. For 35 years, we've created the ultimate in outdoor living, landscaping, pools, and patios, so you and your family can enjoy each other. Live well. Live Tessera.
Desert Air started right here in the Coachella Valley in 1954, and we've been welcoming customers to our family ever since. With nearly 70 years of proven trust, dependability, and experience, we've got the AC and heating expertise to help you all year round. Plus, our factory-trained technicians provide well-informed maintenance, repairs, and installation, so you get our industry-best products with industry-best service. Contact our family at Desert Air. We'll make sure you live comfortably, always.
Jared Fong is the new pitcher for the Blue Sox in relief of Trevor Morgan. Fong, 6'1", 220 pounds, the freshman. He has been relied upon in multiple areas this season. Adam, what can you tell us about Jared Fong and what he's going to bring coming out of the bullpen for Reed Santos?
Well, he's going to bring a lot of strikeouts in 20 1/3 this summer. 2-0 with a 4.87 ERA in just over 20 innings. 19 strikeouts, but also has 13 walks. The key right now, you're working with the lead, got to throw strikes in the zone and stay ahead of these rush hitters.
He inherits a two-man on and two-man out situation. Caden Dawson off second, he walked. Sky Palmer just singled to chase Trevor Morgan. Alan Serna, the designated hitter. He tapped out to the pitcher in the second inning and then sent a charge into center field to Cepeda that he tracked down on a nice running catch. Serna 0 for 2. Pair of batting gloves hanging out of his left pocket, the yellow work batting gloves that he's donning on top of his gray bat. He takes ball one.
And for Fong, he has a two-seam and a four-seam fastball, a slider, and a splitter.
Utilizing both of those fastballs on both sides of the plate throughout his outing for sure. Swings through this one, and it's 0-1. That fastball coming in at 80. Looks like that was the four-seam fastball. Serna had one of the biggest hits of the rush season in the first-round playoff matchup against MLB DC China. He fouls this back to the screen. He had an RBI infield single on a two-hopper in the hole with the tying run at third base. A bang-bang play at first where Serna slid in head first to barely beat the throw. And, of course, as they say, the rest is history. Hunter Anderson was able to walk things off in the 8th inning to push the rush into their second-round matchup and eventually championship game. 1-2 to Serna. Saws off his hands, and he goes towards the left field line. It'll trail out of play, and we'll do it again at 1-2.
This is a rush team that just battled throughout the playoffs. It hasn't been an easy regular season for them, up and down, but they've gone hot at the right time. The Blue Sox have really just cruised through the regular season and the playoffs, winning 5-1 and 8-1.
1-2 pitch from Fong. Swing and a miss. He got him. Jared Fong comes in with 2 runners on, and he's able to put away Alan Serna on strikes to stop any damage. The shutout remains intact, and the Blue Sox take a 6-0 lead into their home half of the 6th inning. We'll see if they can tack on any more on the PSCL Broadcasting Network.
Across the Coachella Valley, you'll find our communities powered by short-term rentals. These rentals bring visitors and dollars to the region. Whether attending events, checking out the art scene, or dining at restaurants, when they spend money, we all score. The nearly $1 billion impact of short-term vacation rentals generates tax revenues that fund police, firefighters, education, and many other programs that improve our daily lives. To learn why short-term rentals are a grand slam for the home team, visit onecv.org.
Building your business is no small undertaking, and you need the right team by your side. Whether you're just getting started or expanding nationwide, Pacific Premier Bank is here to support your business every step of the way. As your trusted banking partner, we can help guide you down the right path with customized solutions designed for your business. We'll help you achieve the success you deserve. Pacific Premier Bank. Let's build your future together.
Hey, Power Baseball fans. Looking to hit a home run against pests in your home? Rudy's Pest Control is your winning choice. Rudy's Flex 80/90 Pest Control Plan offers effective and affordable protection with just 5 visits a year instead of the usual 12, so you'll have more time to do what you love. Visit rudyspest.com or call 760-746-PEST and declare, heck no, 12's gotta go. Rudy's Pest Control is your home run choice, so get started today.
Bottom of the 6th in the PSCL championship game. The Blue Sox leading the Rush 6-0 as they come to bat in their half of the 6th inning. Ethan Swidler, Dylan Abid, Bodie Grieve, the 2-3-4 men in the order for Reed Santos, will lead things off in the 6th. Swidler is 0 for 2 with a walk. The backstop today in from the right side, facing Anthony Silas, who takes a called strike. Cheryl McWhorter-Featherstone rooting for Blue Sox and Noah Buthford, all the way from Mississippi Valley State University in Birmingham, Alabama. Noah's had a heck of a season for the Blue Sox. Wouldn't be surprised to see him getting in later in this game. The pitch is in the dirt, and it's 1-1. Silas, the 4th different pitcher being used today for the Rush. The 1-1 pitch from him is tapped back behind the screen. It's 1-2. And all of the damage, Adam, really hasn't come a lot from the middle of this order. Dylan Abid has had a very nice game, but other than that, Swidler and Grieve are 0 for 4 between themselves, and again points to the depth of this lineup. The 1-2 pitch is tagged to the 6th hole, and just as I say that, Ethan Swidler makes me eat crow up here in the box. He has his first hit of the day. He's been on twice. Now 6 innings, 5 leadoff base runners for the Blue Sox, and he'll get courtesy ran for. Or nope, they'll retreat him back. But Swidler is able to get on the board.
It's a simple approach at the plate. Got a pitch that was up in the zone. Just slides it through the left side of the infield.
The reverse broadcaster jinx kicking in now. So you're welcome, Ethan. Abid still scheduled to hit, but now Tyler Nelson, who's warming around in the home dugout, has grabbed a bat. Looks like he would most likely be hitting for David Orozco, who is scheduled to hit 3 batters from now. The umpires are talking over something down the third base line. They'll all converse. I think this is a substitution question, Adam. Santos has found his way into the meeting between our 4 umpires that we've been lucky to have today, and really lucky throughout the entire summer season.
It's been a 5 or 6 umpires that have rotated between the PSCL and the Power. It's been all of them the entire season. You can't play baseball without umpires.
Well, I've tried that in my Sandlot days, Adam. I've been told I have a huge strike zone when I'm on defense and a small one when I'm hitting. So it is a good thing that we have them here. Leadoff single from Swidler. He still stays on first. Dylan Abid against Silas. Rips this one down the first base line, but foul. Abid 2 for 2 with a walk in the second. Abid scored in that 4-run first. Up until last inning, that had been the only frame that the Blue Sox had scored their runs, but they push across 2 in the 5th. That's led them to a 6-0 lead in the 6th. The 0-1. Squaring around to bunt is Abid. He's not able to pull it back as he started jogging down the first base line, and it's 0-2. Silas working with a lot of pace here in facing his 3rd batter. You got Javen Box at a line out, and his only pitch he threw in the 5th. This one is hit on a couple of hops to the third baseman, Cunningham. On to second for one. On to first, double play. Nathan Cunningham takes his time, delivers a strike to Santiago Duarte. A huge double play for the Rush. Bodie Grieve stepping in for the Blue Sox.
Great defensive play. You talk about offense having momentum. How about a defensive play giving the Rush some momentum to their bats if they can now get at Bodie Grieve? And that's easier said than done.
Grieve walked and stole a base in the first inning, came around to score. He sees his first pitch from Silas. It runs high and inside. He then grounded into that Only crucial 1-2-3 double play against Derek Ball, where you thought the Rush were going to get things going to end the second. The 1-0 pitch is outside. It's 2-0. And then grounded out to second in the fourth, so officially 0 for 2. And it's now 2-0 to the Blue Sox left fielder. Swings at this one in on his hands. He's able to bloop this into right field as it goes on a couple of hops to Alex Bautista. And Grieve, again, hears me say that he's 0 for 2 and throws it right back to the booth. And that is the 10th hit for the Blue Sox in the 6th inning.
That's all that strength from Bodie Grieve. A pitch on the inside part of the plate and just fights it off in on the hands.
As a pinch hitter coming for the Blue Sox, so Fred Ramos' day is done. And Isaac Rodriguez will have his first time. He takes a ball outside, 1-0. Fred Ramos' day ends 1 for 2 with an RBI. He scored a couple of runs. Isaac Rodriguez out of the University of St. Catherine. He's fouled this back to the screen. It's 1-1 to him. Most likely this would mean Rodriguez would hit one of the middle infield spots, and with the versatility of Michael Gonzalez, you're able to move him around. So we'll see what changes they make defensively. First things first, the 1-1 pitch is a breaking ball that misses low just under the knees. Anthony Silas, as we've said, the fourth pitcher used today for the Rush. He's set in the middle of the rubber. High leg kick delivers home. Catches the outside corner. It's 2-2. Gonzalez sporting the red elbow Evo Shield guard with the all-black bat, the gray batting gloves with the red sliding mitt poking out of his right back pocket. 2-2 to him. Out in front, but he's able to stay with it and keep his hands out and flick this into left field for a 2-out base hit.
Isaac Rodriguez has really been a staple in this Blue Sox lineup the entire summer. He's hitting .405, but that just shows how much depth this Blue Sox lineup has. Someone hitting .405, EJ, and isn't starting.
And here comes Tyler Nelson, noted Natasha Bedingfield fan, his first at-bat of the day. He's been used as both a first baseman and a catcher throughout this season and has also done double duty, not only playing for Reed Santos in the mornings for the Blue Sox, but also playing for Casey Dill in the Palm Springs Power at night throughout the season. First pitch to Tyler. He takes it inside for a ball. Nelson looking to push this lead even further. The 1-0 pitch to him catches the outside half. It's 1-1. Nelson, one of the fan favorites around the building and also just the employees in general. Such a good personality, always smiling when he's around the ballpark. Out of Corona, California. Silas set. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Tyler was holding back on the breaking ball. He sat well on it, but he came up empty, and it's 1-2 to him.
That pitch from Silas came in at 63.
Nelson batting .324 this season. He has 10 RBIs, 11 hits. Does have a home run, 4 doubles to go along with it. I'm sure just looking for a base hit here to push this Blue Sox lead out even further. 1-2. Nelly skies this down the first base side. It'll reach the seats about 7-8 rows up on the visiting side. He stays alive. Six 0. Blue Sox lead the Rush. Nelson, the second pitch hitter used in the inning. Isaac Rodriguez just singled in place of Fred Ramos. 1-2, runners taking off. Cold strike 3, and Nelson knew it. Anthony Silas able to escape trouble in the 6th inning. But we head to the late innings. The Rush need to get things going quick if they want to have a piece of the PSCL championship. The Blue Sox are 9 defensive outs away. Adam Oppenheim will take back over for the top of the 7th when we return on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
welcome back to the PSCL championship game. Will Dalton will be pinch hitting for Alec Bautista, who's 0 for 1 with the walk. Adam Oppenheim alongside EJ Sanchez. 6-0 the Blue Sox in the top of the 7th. Jared Fong on the mound, and his first pitch is a strike. As Jared Fong worked through the 6th inning, allowing no runs, and the Blue Sox pitching staff has been great as that's a chopper to the second baseman, Baxa. He'll field and fire on to first in time. Easy first out on a 4-3 put out.
This is a really fun situation to be in if you're the Blue Sox, Adam, because with a 6-run lead and the way your pitching staff has handled themselves today, the win starts to feel palpable. The smile starts to grow a little bigger with each defensive out because you understand how close you are to achieving the goal that you set for yourself when this all started back in mid-June.
Daniel Quadras with 1 out in the 7th steps into the plate. 6 hits and 6 in the 3rd innings for the Rush. First pitch is a strike from Jared Fong. Fastball at 80. For the Blue Sox, they've only scored in 2 innings. It was a 4-run bottom of the 1st and 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th. But they have hit the ball hard today. Off-speed pitch, it's in for a strike. It's quickly 0-2. That was a slider.
That's also a hesitant take. Buckled the knees of Quadras. So if you're Swidler, I'm interested to see if he'll double up on that when you get a take like that.
The 0-2 pitch from Fong. Here it comes. Another slider. Misses inside. It's 1-2.
But, Adam, even though it misses, you get the idea you're going with when you're calling that pitch. It's clear that Quadras isn't seeing it perfectly out of the hand, so you take advantage of that. But now after saying back-to-back, you set yourself up to blow him by him with a fastball.
1-2 pitch to Quadras. Right back up the middle. Diving attempt is made by Gonzalez. He'll have no play. Keeps it from getting into the outfield, but it's an infield single for Daniel Quadras.
It still gets the swing that you're asking for, but it stays up long enough where Quadras can keep his hands and his lower half engaged enough to where he can flick that ball right up the middle and try to get things going for the Rush. As it looks like now there's a courtesy runner coming in at first base. Christian Angulo will be the courtesy runner.
Christian Angulo will be pinch running for the Rush with 1 out. Hunter Anderson next up, right back up the middle. Gonzalez can't get it on the diving stop. Angulo stops at second base. 2 hits for Hunter Anderson. He's 2 for 4, and it's first and second with 1 out in the 7th. The Rush, they got to make their move now, EJ.
We've talked about this being a 7-inning game, going to a 9-inning game now. You're back to square one. You have 3 innings to try to chip into this lead. You've gotten Trevor Morgan out of the ball game, and you've gotten into the bullpen. But you're right. The move has to be made now. You have to come away at least with 2 runs in this inning to give yourself a fighter's chance heading into the 8th and 9th.
Here is Santiago Duarte, first and second with 1 out against Jared Fong. Looking to get on the board in the championship game. First pitch. It's in for a strike. On that slider, it catches the bottom of the zone. Jared Fong out of the stretch. Take a look back at Angulo. The 0-1 pitch. Just misses the outside corner. Swidler tried to bring that ball just up a touch. But call the ball behind home plate by William Macareno. Our 4-umpire crew today, Macareno behind the plate. John DeCesar at third. Ryan Carroll at second, currently behind Fong now. And Ben Sontag down the first baseline. That's a line drive off 1 hop to Gonzalez to second for 1 on the first double play. Jared Fong induces the 6-4-3 double play. It was hit hard off the bat from Santiago Duarte, but it turns into a routine double play as it went Gonzalez to Baxa to Nelson. It's time to stretch. We head to the bottom of the 7th with the Blue Sox leading the Rush in the PSCL championship game 6-0. You're watching PSCL Baseball on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
Across the Coachella Valley, you'll find our communities powered by short-term rentals. These rentals bring visitors and dollars to the region. Whether attending events, checking out the art scene, or dining at restaurants, when they spend money, we all score. The nearly $1 billion impact of short-term vacation rentals generates tax revenues that fund police, firefighters, education, and many other programs that improve our daily lives. To learn why short-term rentals are a grand slam for the home team, visit onecv.org.
Welcome back to Palm Springs Stadium, bottom of the 7th inning. Anthony Silas still on the mound, EJ. He's looked pretty comfortable so far.
He's been able to settle in, and that's not something that you can even say for any of the other three pitchers that have gone today for the Rush. A left-hander and thrown out a different look as the first three pitchers were all right-handed for the Rush. He's just found a groove. Being able to land that curveball has been huge for them because he uses that to play into his fastball, and it plays up a lot better when you're landing your breaking stuff.
Here is Michael Gonzalez to lead off the bottom of the 7th. Takes the first pitch, high, ball 1. He finished the top of the 7th for the Rush on a 6-4-3 double play on a hard hit ball from Santiago Duarte, who's now playing just into the outfield grass. Next pitch, it's an off-speed pitch, a good slider from Silas, and the count moves to 1-1.
As long as he's able to still force the action and force the Blue Sox to beat him, he's going to be in a good spot as the day progresses.
As the 1-1 pitch misses low, it's 2-1.
Well, as we head into the later innings, Adam, this is going to be a measure of can the Rush keep it here and give themselves a chance in the 8th and 9th innings.
2 balls, 1 strike. That's sent to right center field. Sky Palmer on his horse into the gap. He makes the running catch. Nice catch for Sky Palmer, who's had a great day at the plate, and that time makes an excellent defensive play for out number 1 of the 7th.
It's well struck off the bat, but what's the key here is Sky Palmer's first step. The first step allows him to stay on a good route and really cut off the ball from the back instead of from the front, and that's what allows him to still have plenty of room to make the catch. Textbook fundamentals by the Rush center fielder.
Anthony Cepeda is next up on a left-on-left matchup. The first pitch he gets from Silas, it's a strike. Really good off-speed pitch that hits the outside corner. Anthony Silas out of the windup. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. It's fouled off to the left side. It was in on the hands of Cepeda. Noah Bufford waits on deck. Looks like he's going to be pinch hitting for Anthony Mathiasen, and would assume he moves into the outfield in some capacity, which is where he usually plays. The 0-2 pitch to Cepeda misses low. It's 1-2.
What stands out to me right now as you're looking through all the scoring plays from the Blue Sox is they have 3 sac flies. This is a team that has sacrificed themselves time and time again.
It's the 1-2 pitch. Right back at Silas. He makes the catch on a line drive off the bat at 77. Anthony Silas able to get his glove down there to maybe protect his legs, but at the same time, he makes the catch.
Pitchers will tell you that they absolutely meant to do that. This is a straight instincts play from Silas. You're happy for him to be able to make the play. But to go back to that last point, this Blue Sox team has done exactly that. They've put balls in play when they've needed to, and it's given way to a 6-run lead and 6 defensive outs away from accomplishing their goal.
Noah Buffer, the pinch hitter, takes the first pitch high for ball 1. Noah Bufford on the year, 237, with 5 doubles and a home run as the next pitch misses. 2 balls, no strikes. He had a home run in the 3rd game he played this year against the Bootleggers. It was a deep drive out to left field, a solo home run. Has a lot of power in his bat. And is ahead 2-0 on Anthony Silas. He was looking for the first 1-2-3 inning for the Rush on defense. The 2-0 pitch to Bufford. Here it comes. Catches the bottom of the zone, strike one. Good fastball right at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. 6-0 Blue Sox. The 2-1 pitch. Similar spot. That time called a ball.
Noah was really the first guy to catch the attention of everybody in the PSCL with that home run, just demonstrating the raw tools and athleticism that he possesses.
And the 3-1 pitch, he has a good eye to watch that ball sail high, ball 4. So a 2-out walk, and it's not going to be a 1-2-3 for the Rush just yet. And it brings up the top of the lineup, and Javen Baxa, who's 1 for 3 on the day. Base hit scored in the first, walked in the second. That pitch is in the dirt, ball 1. To Javid Baxa. It's Bufford at first base, sporting his red helmet. Here comes the 1-0 pitch home. That's sent in the air, just into the outfield grass goes Santiago Duarte. He'll stop and make the catch. Another scoreless inning thrown from Anthony Silas. But the Rush need to get the scoring started. We head to the top of the 8th. They trail 6-0 against the Blue Sox in the PSCL championship game. You're watching PSCL Baseball on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
Try our big, beautiful all-day menu with more than 70 delicious dishes and our award-winning 3-course brunch for only $29.99. At Palm Springs' most popular restaurant, there's always a party at Lulu.
Whenever you find yourself hungry for something real, simple, and true, we're here for you.
That's what a hamburger's all about.
There's something winning in the agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Welcome back to Palm Springs Stadium. The Rush have 6 more outs to work with in this 9-inning PSCL championship game. It's Caden Dawson leading off the top of the 8th against Jared Fong. And with no one warming in the Blue Sox bullpen, you have a feeling Reed Santos might send him out to finish off these last couple innings. The Rush have had plenty of chances to score. Doesn't show that because they have 8 hits to the Blue Sox's 11 as the first pitch misses outside ball 1, but the difference is the walks, and there's been numerous for the Rush on the mound, especially early in the game.
Hey, you had 6 walks before you could get the 4th inning started.
So the 1-0 pitch is fouled off. It's 1-1.
As right now, the walk numbers are 9-3 favoring the Blue Sox. And the difference between that, Adam, and what's the score right now? 6 runs. So, I mean, it's not exact, but it gives you an idea of how free passes can affect the ball game.
The 1-1 just misses in, according to home plate umpire William Macareno. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike on Caden Dawson, who's 0 for 1 with the strikeout, has walked twice. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Misses high, and it's 3-1. Mentioned Caden Dawson's walk numbers at the start of the broadcast. 3 walks on the entire year. He has a chance to match that in the championship game.
Don't you love playoff baseball?
It's great. Kane Dawson receives the 3-1 pitch. It's high. Ball 4. Kaden Dawson's sort of shaking his head. That is hilarious. 3 walks in the championship game. He's had 3 the entire year. But he's certainly going to take it because the Rush get another leadoff runner on. It's Colin McCormick at the plate, and the Rush are trying to get into the meat of their order and string some hits together. McCormick 0 for 3 on the day with 2 flyouts. It's a number down the first base line. Tyler Nelson is just going to make the tag of Colin McCormick. So 3 unassisted. And advancing to second is Ken Dawson.
The reason why I like that from Nels in that spot is, yes, he could have turned and made a really difficult play at second base. There's no reason to do it at this point in the game, Adam. You're counting outs. You're 5 outs away, and the last thing you want to do is, a runner going into the baseline, and you throw that ball into left field, and now you give themselves momentum. Tyler, understanding at that point that he just has to tag the guy and move one step closer to a championship.
Nathan Cunningham is next up, lined down the first baseline and foul. And speaking of Tyler Nelson at first base, he was substituted last inning in the top of the 7th. Tyler Nelson at first base for David Orozco and Isaac Rodriguez at third base for Fred Ramos after they hit from them in the bottom of the 6th. No balls, 1 strike on Cunningham. Off-speed pitch is in for a strike. Really good slider from Jared Fung. He's had incredible control of that pitch.
This is what I'm talking about, where you can start to feel the championship at your fingertips, because even just a pitch like that, the Blue Sox dugout is starting to get louder and louder, understanding the moment.
The 0-2 pitch, it's on the ground to Javen Baxa. He's going to fire to first in plenty of time as Dawson advances to third, but it's the second out of the top of the 8th. Blue Sox still lead at 6-0.
It's the right guy at the plate if you're trying to get on the board. Sky Palmer is 3 for 3, but you get the sense right now that Rush dugout is sensing that whatever they do right now is really just not falling in their favor. You had a strike him out, throw him out, double play to end the inning. You had a 90-mile-an-hour off-the-bat double play last inning. I mean, you forced the Blue Sox to get you out, and they've done it.
Sky Palmer, like you mentioned, EJ, 3 for 3. Gets a first pitch slider for a strike.
And Fong is starting to lead with that slider. It's a little different than Morgan's. It looks like it has just a little bit more sweep to it, and it's also a little bit slower. And when you've been having that velocity difference, it makes it that much harder to hit.
The 0-1 pitch on the ground to Nelson. He's going to take it to the bag himself. The Blue Sox have held the Rush scoreless in the PSCL championship game. It's 6-0 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. 3 outs from rain for the Rush, but first the Blue Sox will look to bat at least one more time. You're watching the PSCL championship broadcast on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
Two locations with something for everyone. Stuffed Pizza Bar and Grill.
How do you define adventure? Riding the world's largest rotating tram car? Taking in SoCal's awe-inspiring views? Exploring over 50 miles of pristine wilderness? Enjoying casual or fine dining at 8,500 feet? Discovering our history? Experiencing our scenic trails? Getting that perfect souvenir? Whatever your adventure, you'll find it at the Palm Springs Aerial Tramway. Adventure at its peak. Begin your adventure at pstramway.com.
Desert Air started right here in the Coachella Valley in 1954, and we've been welcoming customers to our family ever since. With nearly 70 years of proven trust, dependability, and experience, we've got the AC and heating expertise to help you all year round. Plus, our factory-trained technicians provide well-informed maintenance, repairs, and installation, so you get our industry-best products with industry-best service. Contact our family at Desert Air. We'll make sure you live comfortably, always.
Back for the bottom of the 8th here at Palm Springs Stadium. 6-0 Blue Sox in the PSCL championship game. Ethan Swidler will lead off against the new pitcher for the Rush. It's Jackson Kemper, the right-hander. 5'11", 175. 0-3 on the year, 4.97 ERA and 12 2/3. Lead off facing Swidler. The first pitch misses outside, ball 1, and 12 2/3. He's allowed 20 runs, but 7 have been earned. 10 strikeouts to 7 walks. 3 coming in his last outing against the Coyotes. The 1-0 pitch to Swidler. Sky-high pop-up on the infield. Colin McCormick will call everyone off. And can't make the catch. It falls behind him. Ethan Swidler's on first base. It hung up in the air for such a long time. McCormick took his eyes off it. It hung up in the air for 6.2 seconds. And it's a leadoff single for Ethan Swidler.
First of all, we have to give a shout-out to TrackMan that you're able to calculate that. But, I mean, at the end of the day, this is a ball that just right into the face of the sun, and McCormick settled under it, but it makes it, even harder when you're talking about it. And now you're getting a pinch hitter for the Blue Sox.
And it's Josh Manis who will take the first pitch low, ball 1. You sure I wasn't just using, a stopwatch on my phone, EJ, to calculate that?
If you did, then I would give over all of my broadcasting credentials to you, my friend.
Well, I did not, so they're in good hands. It's 1-0 on Manis. Here's the pitch. Misses high and tight. It's 2-0. Ethan Swidler, that was his second hit of the game, although that was extremely unconventional. Two 2-0 on Joshua Manis. Here's the next pitch. Just misses below the zone. It's quickly 3-0. Pinch hitting for Dylan Abid, the designated hitter. Abid had a good day, 2 for 3. Came around to score in the first. Also walked. 3-0 pitch from Camper. That catches the bottom of the zone. Strike 1, a fastball. Camper has a 4-seam slider and a change.
He's going to need to attack with that 4-seam and just allow the Blue Sox to put the ball in play and rely on your defense. Camper's strikeout numbers don't show that he's going to be a guy to blow up by this Blue Sox lineup.
The 3-1 pitch misses high to Manis. Ball 4, and it's first and second. No outs in the 8th. And the Blue Sox looking to tack on some more insurance runs. Brings up Bodie Grieve, who's 1 for 3 with a walk back in the first. And he came around to score. Jackson Camper, a look at Swidler, now fires to Grieve. Pitch misses low, ball 1. Camper, although he went only inning last time and allowed 4 runs, 0 were earned, but he also had 3 walks. Camper on the mound. Another look back to second. He fires home and misses below the zone again. It's 2 balls, no strikes. This Blue Sox team, they've been dominant all year long. But the Rush have certainly helped them out with the pitches outside the zone that have really just been non-competitive, EJ.
Well, it just seems that the Blue Sox are going to take advantage of every free base runner you give them as another pitch rides inside. It's 3-0 now to Grieve. Adam, I've mentioned it a couple of times, and you hate to sound like a broken record, but free passes will come back. It doesn't matter if it's a regular season game, but in the championship game, it'll rear its head a lot more, and you're seeing the results of that in this championship.
The 3-0 pitch misses low. A 4-pitch walk to Bodie Grieve. He reaches base for the 3rd time today, second via the walk. And it's bases loaded. A leadoff single for Ethan Swidler. That was a pop-up on the infield that McCormick couldn't handle at shortstop. Joshua Manis walked, and now Bodie Grieve walks. And that brings out Zach Novus. I talked with his pitcher Camper. Bubba Thompson warming in the bullpen for the Rush.
Look, the expectation at this point cannot be to get out of this with no runs given up. The hole has been dug deep enough. But the message of this mound meeting, Adam, is that you have to get through to your pitcher that you can't find out how well your defense is going to play behind you until you give them the opportunity. You live with the single from Swidler. It's the walk to Maness and Grieve that makes this situation so much more difficult. So Zach has to make sure to get through to Jackson right now that his defense is behind him for a reason. If he's able to just simplify his mechanics and get back into the strike zone, better things will happen than walks.
After the mound visit, it will be Isaac Rodriguez who pinch hit for Fred Ramos in the 6th. He's 1 for 1. Up to bat with the bases full for the Blue Sox. Swidler's at third. Manis is at second. Bodie Grieve just off first base. Bases full for the Blue Sox. Bottom of the 8th, no outs. They lead 6-0 in the championship game. First pitch just misses high.
And of all the pitches that Camper's thrown, that's probably the one that has the best chance of getting called a strike. But, Adam, I mentioned to you off air, when you're consistently out of the zone, you will not get out of the benefit out of the doubt on those borderline pitches.
The 1-0 pitch looks like it might have hit the front of the plate, but stays in front of Quadras. And it's 2-0. Jackson Camper can't buy a strike right now, just trying to find the zone and give his team a chance in the top of the 9th. 2-0 on Rodriguez. Camper comes home with the pitch. Floater into right field. Bautista coming on. He can't make the catch. 1 run's going to score. Throw goes into second. It's in time to get Grieve, who didn't know if that ball was going to drop. So it goes down as an RBI for Rodriguez, but also a fielder's choice.
This is just a high IQ baseball play in right field by Maness, because you find a way to still look for outs, and you know that with this glove fake that he threw up, he's going to get at least one of those runners to think about his next step. And just on this play, it happens to be Grieve at first. You find outs as any way you can, and with a 7-run deficit, you have to start thinking about preventing that runner at third from crossing.
Here's the first pitch to Tyler Nelson. That's fouled back, so Blue Sox now scored 4 in the first, 2 in the 5th, and now 1 here in the 8th. So Swidler comes in to score. Manis moves over to third. Grieve's out on second. As Rodriguez stands at first, picks up the RBI. The 0-1 pitch, lined right back up the middle, base hit. Base hit, Tyler Nelson. Manis comes in to score. And it's 8-0 Blue Sox in the 8th. A ball that was smoked by Tyler Nelson, down in the zone off the bat at 91.
You're just putting the bow really on top of this gift that the Blue Sox have given the PSCL this season. It's an offense that has been relentless time and time again. And Tyler Nelson, who's coming off the bench, he's a starter. I talked with Reed Santos in that interview, Adam, and off air, he basically told me, like, look, making this lineup is hard. I have so many talented players on my bench. It's hard to pick out a starting 9 for guys that have played so well for the last month plus.
First pitch misses outside of Michael Gonzalez, so it's first and second with just the 1 out on the fielder's choice. This Blue Sox team is really talented. Santos has done a great job managing them as the 1-0 pitch is upstairs. It's 2-0. And this is a team that from the start, you felt like it was either them or the Lumberjacks. And then the rush came into play late in the season and got really hot. But the Blue Sox, consistent all year long. The 2-0 pitch. It's on the ground to McCormick. Bobbles throws over to second for 1. There will be no throw at first base. McCormick mishandled it at first, so it'll just be a fielder's choice. But it's the second out of the 8th on the 6-4 putout.
Nelson does a good job of breaking up this double play. Still goes in how you're taught to and doesn't allow Duarte to get his footing, and which really prevents the situation from turning into a double play. And looks like that'll be the day for Camper and the look we get at Bubba Thompson in a Rush uniform.
Bubba Thompson coming into pitch. The Blue Sox adding 2 in the bottom of the 8th. They lead 8-0 over the Rush in the PSCL championship game. We'll take a quick break. You're watching PSCL Baseball on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
There's something winning in the agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Building your business is no small undertaking, and you need the right team by your side. Whether you're just getting started or expanding nationwide, Pacific Premier Bank is here to support your business every step of the way. As your trusted banking partner, we can help guide you down the right path with customized solutions designed for your business. We'll help you achieve the success you deserve. Pacific Premier Bank. Let's build your future together.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Anthony Cepeda is up for the Blue Sox against the Rush new pitcher. It's Bubba Thompson. Has gone 1 inning this year against the Haymakers. On June 15th, faced 7 batters, allowed 3 hits, 3 runs, 2 being earned. And he's looking to just close the door on the bottom of the 8th. Give his bats a shot at a miracle to come back. First pitch to Cepeda is fouled off to the left side. Fastball at 83. 2 runs home in the inning for the Blue Sox. They lead at 8-0. Rush 0 runs on 8 hits, 0 errors. Blue Sox 8 runs, 13 hits with just 1 error. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Catches the outside corner, strike 2. Fastball pumped in at 86.
What Bubba gives you is an imposing figure and frame to see a fastball out of. Nearly about it's sitting between 85 and 87 now, as you just saw. This is what his job is out of the bullpen.
0-2 as the runner takes off. To the shortstop, McCormick. On the run, he fires to retire the side. But the Blue Sox add 2 in the bottom of the 8th. They look to close out the PSCL season with the championship. Stay with us. The Blue Sox lead the Rush 8-0. You're watching PSCL Baseball on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
Hey, Power Baseball fans. Looking to hit a home run against pests in your home? Rudy's Pest Control is your winning choice. Rudy's Flex 80/90 Pest Control Plan offers effective and affordable protection with just 5 visits a year instead of the usual 12, so you'll have more time to do what you love. Visit rudyspest.com or call 760-746-PEST and declare, heck no, 12's gotta go. Rudy's Pest Control is your home run choice, so get started today.
Shopping for car insurance is confusing. Holy cow.
Great. Now we have a cow in our kitchen. Why did you say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to choose.
So just say the State Farm jingle. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. Dude, cow, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Setting, you know, we come and we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
The hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream in the hot cocoa.
Very family oriented. You know, they cater to the kids. They got the coloring books and crayons, and they have kid-sized stuff about almost for everything.
3 outs remain until the Blue Sox become the 2024 PSCL champions. Jared Fong working into the 9th. He's thrown just 26 pitches. Will face Alan Cerna to begin the 9th. Speaking of 9, the Rush have had many chances, and they've left 9 on base today, EJ. They've hit the ball well, but have not hit well with runners in scoring position. The first ball is sent into center field. Anthony Cepeda will move back, get under it, and it's an easy first out for the Blue Sox. Brings up Will Dalton, who pinch hit for Alec Bautista in the 7th. Grounded out to the second baseman, Baxa.
Adam, this Rush team throughout the season has been fun to watch. They've had exciting talent all over, whether it's Anthony Sanchez and a couple of different guys on the pitching staff, whether it's an offense that has consistently sat above 300. And today you really have to, come to terms with the fact that you ran into really just the best team in the league. You ran into a buzzsaw in the Blue Sox. And for this Rush team, barring a miracle with one out, you have to hang your hat on the fact that you really had a tremendous season.
The first two pitches were both fouled off down the third base line. It's 0-2 on Dalton. This Rush team, some could say they were expected to be here, but the Lumberjacks are probably the clear favorite coming out of their division. And the Rush have battled hard. A great win against the A's. Comeback win against China in their first matchup as the pitch misses high and away, ball 1. This is a team that deserved to be in the championship game. There was no doubt about that. Just the Blue Sox have been the team all year. It's 1-2 on Dalton with the red bat, red helmet. Line down the third base line, but foul right by Zach Novus, manager of the Rush.
And the thing can really be that not only the offense putting up 13 hits and 8 runs, but the pitching staff just, you maybe had one more guy left. And in the playoffs, that's what it comes down to, is who has the bullpen that's fresh and who has a starter that has experience giving some length. And you can't say enough about what Trevor Morgan did for this Blue Sox team, going 5 2/3 of shutout baseball.
The 1-2 pitch was outside. It's 2-2 on Will Dalton. One out, top of the 9th. Blue Sox lead 8-0. This ball is on the ground. And Michael Gonzalez, who bobbles it, trickles into the outfield grass, and he's 6. Should have been an easy second out of the inning, but it's the second error of the game for the Blue Sox.
And I think that this is just a ball that skips up on Michael, and you see him a little upset with himself. This dirt plays as quick as any in Southern California, and sometimes when you're bringing your hands up just a millisecond too quick, it can lead to it falling out of the pocket of your glove.
Daniel Quadras, who's 1 for 3 on the day. Trying to get a Rush rally in the 9th. First pitch misses outside, ball 1 from Jared Fong. No one warming up in the bullpen for the Blue Sox. A comfortable 8-0 lead after they got off to a flaming hot start in the first, scoring 4 innings. They added 2 more in the 5th, and most recently in the bottom of the 8th. The 1-0 pitch, it's fouled back behind home plate. Counts 1-1 with 1 out. Dalton's on first base, top of the 9th. The Rush need a miracle to stay alive in the PSCL championship. The 1-1 pitch in, just inside. It's 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike. Here comes the 2-1 pitch from Fong. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Got him with a fastball down in the zone.
I was just about to say, Adam, at this juncture in the game, it's important for Jared Fong to not try to get strikeout happy, and he just has to stay in the zone and not let this inning drag on any longer than it needs to.
2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the slider up in the zone, and the Blue Sox are 1 out away from winning the PSCL.
You look over at the Blue Sox dugout right now, and a couple more guys standing. You can see a little bit on the left side of your screen, but this team throughout the season has earned not only the right to be here, but the right to call themselves the best team in the league. There have been other teams that have claimed it.
As Will Dalton takes off, ground ball to third. Great pick by Rodriguez. On the first, the Blue Sox win the 2024 PSCL championship. A dominant season by the Blue Sox, and it ends on victory at Palm Springs Stadium. 8-0 the final.
There's talking the talk, Adam, and then there's walking the walk. You didn't hear a lot of talk from the Blue Sox this season, but they walked the walk the entire way through. You finish this season at the record they do. You see Reed Santos, everybody's so happy for him. His first championship as a manager in the PSCL. And there really is no better way to cap off what has been an exciting and really fun summer, not only for the players out there, for us who have had the opportunity to work these games and get to know these players and understand what it takes to play summer baseball. It is a grind the entire way through, and we not only have experienced and learned it, but we've watched some good baseball along the way.
A dominant season by the Blue Sox, and they come away victorious yet again with an 8-0 win over the Rush. What a terrific season we've had in the PSCL. And the Blue Sox, the best team in the regular season, comes out on top, but not without a battle from the Rush, who've been tough all season long and have been hot at the right time in the playoffs.
Yesterday you had the notion that, this game looks a lot different than the score indicates. Adam, I don't think that's the case here today. This was grabbed early by the Blue Sox with 4 runs in the first inning, and from there, it never really got out of hand. You had a pitcher that cruised. Trevor Morgan's going to get the win today. He was outstanding. Jared Fong, 2 1/3 out of the bullpen, equally as dominant. And you see the trophy presentation going down on the third base side right now. Make sure to follow the Power Summer Collegiate League on all types of social media platforms, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I'll be headed down to get our post-game interview that we'll post there. We'll send one more Blue Sox player up here. But, Adam, if we never get the chance again, what a season you and I have had up here, along with Cole Pavelio, Griffin Epstein, Jay Cicinelli, Stephen Buxton, everybody that's joined us, Ethan joining us every morning. There's a sense of accomplishment, not only for these players, but for us as well up here, that the PSCL season has come to a close, and we were able to be here for it.
Yeah, once again, I was just about to shout him out. How about one more time? Cole Pavelio, Griffin Epstein, Jay Cicinelli, Stephen Buxton, partner EJ Sanchez, and, of course, Ethan Gamulka, making us all look so smart up here. Madam Oppenheim, we're going to have an on-field interview that's going to be posted later with EJ Sanchez, so we'll let you go, EJ. We're going to have Ethan Swidler up here in the booth in just a bit. But for now, we'll take a quick break as the trophy presentation is going on now. The Blue Sox defeat the Rush by a score of 8-0. Stay tuned for our post-game interview with Ethan Swidler right after this. You've watched the PSCL Baseball Championship on the PSCL Broadcast Network.
There's something winning in the Agua. Catch all the action at 360 Sports at Agua Caliente Casinos. Watch your favorite teams on our giant wraparound screens. See live scores on the LED sports ticker. Win big with our bar top games and enjoy great twists on bar food favorites. And with 3 premier casino locations, 360 Sports is the ultimate fan experience. For more information, visit aguacalientecasinos.com.
Building your business is no small undertaking, and you need the right team by your side. Whether you're just getting started or expanding nationwide, Pacific Premier Bank is here to support your business every step of the way. As your trusted banking partner, we can help guide you down the right path with customized solutions designed for your business. We'll help you achieve the success you deserve. Pacific Premier Bank. Let's build your future together.
Whether you're building, landscaping, renovating, refreshing, or simply researching, rent the right size tools for your size jobs. In store, online, or in app at Sunbelt Rentals, where tools rule.
Hey, Power Baseball fans. Looking to hit a home run against pests in your home? Hey, Power
Rudy's
Baseball
Pest
fans.
Control is your winning
Looking
choice.
to hit a home run against
Rudy's
pests
Flex
in your home?
80/90 Pest Control
Rudy's
Plan
Pest Control
offers
is your
effective and
winning choice.
affordable protection with
Rudy's
just
Flex
5 visits a
80/90
year
Pest
instead of the
Control
usual
Plan
12.
effective and
So you'll have more time to
affordable
do what you
protection
love.
5 visits a year
Visit
instead of the
rudyspest.com or call
So you'll have more time to do what you love.
746-PEST.
Visit
And declare,
rudyspest.com or
heck
call
no, 12's
760
gotta go.
746-PEST.
Rudy's Pest Control
And
is
declare,
your home run
heck
choice.
no,
So get
12's
started
gotta go.
today. Rudy's Pest Control is your home run choice.
Shopping for
So
car
get started
insurance is
today.
confusing. Holy cow. Shopping for
Great.
car
Now we
insurance
have
is
a cow in our
confusing.
kitchen.
Holy
Why did you
cow.
say that?
Because I don't know what coverage to
Now
choose.
we have a cow in our
Just say
kitchen.
the State
Why
Farm
did you
jingle.
say that? A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs. A State Farm agent can go over all your options with you and help choose coverage that meets your needs.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Cow, could you move?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Family setting, you know, we come and we get into conversation, and it's comfortable here. Is what I guess I'll say. It's comfortable.
And the hot cocoa has whipped cream and sprinkles in the whipped cream. And the hot cocoa has
We're
whipped
family
cream and
oriented.
sprinkles
You know,
in
they
the
Welcome back to Palm Springs Stadium. Once again, the Blue Sox take down the Rush 8-0 in the PSCL championship game. Blue Sox currently putting on their shirts and look to take a picture in the left center field gap right near the scoreboard. But after that, we're going to have Ethan Swiller up here in the booth. Not sure how long it's going to take, but stay with us on the PSCL Broadcast Network. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome back to Palm Springs Stadium. The Blue Sox win the PSCL championship 8-0 over the Rush. Here alongside Ethan Swidler. Ethan, how does it feel being a PSCL champion?
Yeah, no, it was awesome. It was a fun playoffs. Pitchers just dominated, 2 earned runs the entire playoffs, so it was real fun to be behind the plate, catching that with them and working with them throughout the weekend.
Now, talk about Trevor Morgan, 5 2/3 of scoreless baseball. How big was that to have him start like that for you guys?
Yeah, I know, it was awesome. In the middle of the summer, he went to Hawaii for a week, so we just got him back, and we didn't know if he'd be the same guy that he was, but, I mean, everything was working today. Slider, curveball, fastball, threw a couple changeups in there. He was just commanding everything, working the zone well.
Now, it wasn't just the pitching side that you guys have been dominant this year. You've scored 30 more runs than any other team, and now 38 more runs than any other team. The hitting side, what was the approach to all you guys at the plate?
I mean, I had a teammate that always said, hitting, you get the ball rolling, and it just keeps going. So, like, we had a lot of guys that started rallies, and they just kept going. A lot of runs this past week came in 2-out rallies, and, like, you see, like, we didn't score in every inning this game, but, I mean, when we score a bunch. It was fun.
That included that big 4-run bottom of the first. How key is it for you guys to have those sacrifice flies and just putting the ball in play instead of doing too much with it?
Yeah, I mean, I think our team does a really good job of that, not having too big of an ego, so setting that aside and just getting the job done when it needs to be. Like, we had 2 sack flies in that inning, like, just jobs got done, worked walks. No one's trying to be too big and trying to be the hero. We just need to pass the torch to the next guy.
Now let's talk about your manager, Reed Santos. He put together this team, and you guys have been fantastic the entire year. What was the message before this championship game from him?
I mean, Coach Reed's an awesome guy. He always just tells us to go out there and have fun, and, like, that's the biggest thing. Our team always has fun. We play together, play as a family, play as a team, and he's always just by our sides. Never angry at us, just teaching us. Very good coach.
Lastly, I'll ask you, how was it being in the seat with the catcher's gear this summer?
In the beginning, it wasn't too bad, but at the end, it got hot. Today it was really hot. And this was a 9 a.m. start. I mean, I was praying all of our games were at 8:30 and 9 because the 11 a.m. games, when it gets to 118, 120, I mean, it is hot.
Once again, Ethan Swidler, PSCL champion. Thanks, Ethan.
Thank you.
And that's going to do it here from Palm Springs Stadium. The PSCL champion, Ethan Swidler, and his team, the Blue Sox, defeat the Rush by a score of 8-0. Final lines, Rush, no runs on 8 hits, 0 errors. Blue Sox, 8 runs, 13 hits, and a pair of errors. That's going to do it for our entire team. Cole Pavelio, Griffin Epstein, Jay Cicinelli, Steven Buxton, my partner EJ Sanchez, Ethan Gamolka, our superstar statistician, up in the booth with us the entire game. Every single stadium game he's been up there. Shout out to Ethan. Once again, I'm Adam Oppenheim. Thank you so much for tuning into the PSCL season all summer long. The Blue Sox beat the Rush by a score of 8-0. You've been watching the PSCL baseball on the PSCL Broadcasting Network.